Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's a Long Story, a campaign made up of 4 parties of differing backgrounds, races, walks of life, living in the same homebrew world of Imea, the wonderful, beautiful world of Imea. We are here with our lovely crew. I'm sorry, Jack, I'm trying to put you back in. My bad. There we go. Now we're here with the lovely crew of the Isles. Everybody take a look, wave at the camera, and say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Cool. So very excited to be able to jump in tonight. If you is your first time watching, this is the newest campaign that just started. This is our second session. We started a couple weeks ago, and very excited to kind of get underway with that. Look at that, Dan. Awesome. Already jumping in with the hello gang. Hello, Dan. Good to see you. We'll do a couple of announcements things first and foremost, but before, actually, once we get into it, before we do that, something that we did not do last time for purposes of performance, I think. We went right into it last week, but this week I think it's important to be able to kind of get an idea of who are these people. So we're going to do that real quick. So first and foremost, we're going to do introductions going around. I will start. My name is Joe. I will be your DM for the evening and the foreseeable future. I have been playing D&D for a bajillion years. Now, I've been playing D&D for a little bit. Sorry, my wife just said, I think the second session deserves a point of inspiration again, too. I don't know about that. You know what? Drew, take a point of inspiration. Welcome, friend. And we'll jump into you here in a second. But for everybody else, yes, my name is Joe. I'm here to DM and ruin the lives of the players that are around. And that's me. From Columbus, Ohio. And very excited to be here. So we'll do for everybody, we'll just say, go ahead and say your name, whereabouts you're from, and then who is the character you're playing today. So let's start with, we'll start in order. So we'll start with Evan.
Hey, yeah, so you said my name. It's Evan, and I'm from Nashville, and I'm playing Unirelian, who's a warlock with pact to a goddess of luck.
Yeah. That's news to everybody, too, so that's good. Cool, moving on. Dan.
Hello, my name is Dan. I am from Worcester, Massachusetts, and I will be playing Riaris, a ASMR fighter with a homebrew subclass.
For everybody at home, can you please spell Worcester for us?
Worcester, Worcester, Worcester. There you go. Don't get me into Leicester.
Worcester. Worcester.
Worcester.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thanks for joining us, Dan. Appreciate it. Cool. Drew.
All right. My name is Drew.
Our new. Sorry. No. Let me give you a big introduction. Boy. Our new player that is playing for. I'm so sorry. Joining us for the first time, Drew. Please.
All right. My name is Drew. I'm from Port St. Lucie, Florida. I'm playing Zed, the Sylph Ranger.
Awesome. Welcome, man. All right, Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm from California, and I play Ogrohogel, the druid.
I really love. That's a fun name to say, Ogrohogel. That's good.
Yeah.
Ogrohogel. Cool. And last but certainly not least, Jack.
Hi, I'm Jack. I live in Southern California, and I am playing Carr, who is an Aarakocra bard.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. So thank you guys for that. Appreciate it. As we are going underway, this actually kind of goes right into our, why is this? Hold on 1 second, gang. Sorry. Weird. Cool. Actually, I forgot. Evan, do you mind like giving us the where we left off? So if you, as I'm doing the announcements, then if you're cool with
Yeah.
that.
So
Sorry. Not yet. I'm giving you time to prepare. Because I'll have to do my announcement thing. This is an extremely professional broadcast. If you guys are joining us for the first time, cool. So before we jump into where we left off, for those who are new to us, welcome. As I said before, this is for our Tales of the Imea and pretty much everything at the moment right now that is coming from It's a Long Story. We are pushing a few games that are coming up in the. Well, we'll start with this week. So this week we have, during the weekend, we are finishing up our Steinhardt's Guide to the Eldritch Hunt. So if you guys are interested in joining into a game that is filled with very, very heavy inspirations from games like Bloodborne or Dark Souls, things like that, it is a great sort of supplement that's been designed to I don't know, just really be able to kind of like be able to push the D&D sort of format and like kind of collide those worlds together. So we are playing that, like I said, until the end of Saturday. Till the end of December. Jeez, brain. So please join us for that. We actually had a couple people that were that had we'll say, actually, Evan, I know I'm giving you a ton of work right now, but Evan, you played a couple of sessions with Steinhardt. If you want to just give us a synopsis of what it felt like.
Yeah, I mean, if you like the whole Dark Souls, Bloodborne, all that stuff, like it has a lot of that energy, and they obviously put a ton of work into the supplement. It's beautiful. There's so many cool pictures and stuff, and it's a game that really makes you feel powerful and really cool, and kind of in that world, but also it's also a chance to be in a situation that has a lot of danger in it. If you want to risk, there's a lot of risk going into the game. So it was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed playing it.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Yeah. So, we will be probably playing it again next year. So if you're not able to jump in for the next couple sessions we have, I think actually the last, we were just figuring this out last weekend, the last night we will have it. I apologize. I did say the end of December, but technically I believe it's going to be the 17th is our last time. So if you want to join, please do so. And if you are joining for the first time, your session's free. So there's no reason to not jump in. The only reason I would say is that if you're like brand new to D&D, it's probably not your best first foray. It's a little bit crunchier than the normal D&D stuff. So yeah, so we have that. Also, we have our shadow, excuse me. Yeah. Okay, cool. We have our Shadows of the North Shore. Sarah, I'm going to mute you for a second because we're getting a little feedback. We have our Shadows of the North Shore. For those of you who are familiar or not familiar with Candela Obscura, it is a game that is just officially, they just sent the rule book out last, I think only a couple weeks ago they finished that out. It is a really cool type of like a cosmic horror game set with a very simple dice system. We have our own sort of version of that. This version takes place in a little bit more of a real world setting. I'm still kind of following the Candela Obscura rule sets and game style and whatnot. But it is placed in my hometown where I grew up, very, very close to where Dan currently is, in North Shore, Massachusetts, the year 1901. So if you're interested in joining us on that, we actually have someone who just jumped in last week. So if we get one more, we actually can we can actually start this game and get it running. So if you're interested, please take a look. And I just realized right now I didn't tell you guys beforehand. You can take a look with the video description. If you're watching on YouTube, it's right underneath. Or if you're watching on Twitch, I'm putting it in the private chat for Twitch or YouTube. They're on both of them. So that is Shadows of the North Shore. It is our version of a Candela Obscura game. Check it out. One of the easiest dice systems I've ever encountered, and really kind of like a rules light setting. Which, if that's your jam, which is my jam, you should check it out. Awesome. And then last but not least, really, I don't know why I save this to last, but this very session here, our Monday nights, if you notice, there's a very beautiful sort of picture down below of Bombato, which is very nice. We like having it there. Yeah, I know I have to do that. I have to do that too. It's all mirrored, all messed up. It's a very beautiful picture, but we would really like to be able to fill that spot with our 6th player, which could be you. So take a look. We are the Tales of MAI. The Isles is our title on Start Playing, as well as pretty much everything else. A design, as you'll see very soon, into the more island setting south of South Imea, pushing into the... Let's just be honest, gang. There's going to be some pirate stuff. It's going to happen. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. So, would love for you to come along as a viewer, sure. But also, we do have one more spot on the ship. So please take a look at that, see if that fits your fancy, and you can sign up on Start Playing. Whew, I think that's it. Oh, lastly, if you want to follow us on social media stuff, we have our link tree that I will post on there as well, which has our Instagram and TikTok. And obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, we have our YouTube or Twitch. If you'd like to follow along, subscribing really helps to kind of feed the almighty algorithm of YouTube and Twitch and get more people to kind of watch us. So that would be a huge help to us. So, and lastly, if you're watching this live, feel free to jump in and just say hi. I promise I will try to type back hi, or one of us will. All right. So before we begin tonight, we need to know where we left off, because we're going to hear it again. You'll see. Evan, please give us where we left off with the Isles.
Right. Normally I prepare for these, so forgive me if I can't forget anything, but we started off with Riaris on a ship coming to, what's the island that we're on right now?
Shasavi.
Shasavi, that's right. Yeah. So coming to Shasavi into a port with an inn that we ended up in. So he sees something strange and tries to shoot at it, I believe, and that doesn't go great. And then, although when he reaches the actual island, he performs an amazing jump onto the island. I believe that attracts the attention of Unirelian, who has been on the island and in the inn and entertainment establishment for perhaps a few days, and notices him and is looking for interesting people. So he goes up and introduces himself, encourages him to do some knots, and they start to travel into the inn. As they go, they're met by Car. Yeah. A strange but friendly Eric Okra, who I believe was following the ship and meets us kind of on the dock and joins us to go inside. And we go inside, and there we take a table and end up meeting Ogra, who is looking for her family of goblins, of which she is definitely one of that goblin tribe. And some strange people, I think a person in a hat, took them or kidnapped them or something. And so we sit around getting to know each other, asking questions, asking if she needs some help. And we take in some entertainment, and we hear some strange words throughout that time. I believe it was sun's eye, blinks, time resets, something of that nature.
That's right.
After we've taken in some entertainment from what is her name? Sylvia, right?
Sylvia. Yep.
Yeah, Sylvia. She comes and talks to us for a little bit. There's a little bit of strangeness as she sort of talks in the mind of Carr, I believe, and then the people who have kidnapped Ogra's family show up. We start a fight in the bar, but are somehow just outside afterwards when the owner of the bar, I believe, suggests that we all leave. And we all decide that that's a great idea, so we go outside. Outside, we end up in a fight with cultists. And it is a pitched battle. And the leader disintegrates one of his own people. We are surrounded. We are also introduced to Ogra's pet named Muffins.
Mm-hmm.
And Riaris, I believe, went down. And we were desperate and definitely in a situation that was seemingly unwinnable. And Yoon pulls out a card and just asks just this once. And then he's back on the dock before he met Riaris. And just talking to himself and realizing that time has reset and they get another chance. One thing I think is important that we were told is that I believe we needed to get to Sylvia faster. We didn't get to her in time.
Yep.
And all of us kind of know that, except for Ogra, who never got the message in her head or kind of got that realization. So she is still, thinking this is the first time this has happened.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think with that, we're going to jump right in. Drew, just to let you know, I just had to mute you. There's a little feedback that was going on in there. So feel free to unmute yourself when it's time. But yeah, with that, we're going to kind of cut back into right where we had started our last session with Riaris. So Riaris, give me an insight check.
Insight, that's going to be great. That is 11.
Okay. Cool. So, as we pull once more into a very similar sort of scene, for the record, Carr, you're still actually flying above in this scene, just about to actually kind of move ahead, and we'll kind of handle that when that comes in. But Riaris, you feel a sudden jolt. That's the first thing. The first thing that comes to is you're staring at the Captain Adebayo, and he's holding that rifle in his hands. With an 11, you're not entirely sure what just happened, but from where you were, fully dead on the beach, you're immediately cut to here. What does Riaris do?
I think there would be a quick intake of breath, looking around, and I think I would first try, do I feel pain? I think some of the last feelings I have is just the pain of being stabbed and just bleeding out.
I think there's a with an 11 you're not entirely sure, but there is like this like weird like phantom sort of pain thing as you feel like the kind of the leftover sting of what happened. I think you immediately kind of like grab your chest probably, but you feel you clean armor, no cut.
I think Riaris's first thought is not fully knowing how the spirits work, not fully knowing how this all works, and is not sure if this was a premonition, if he is reliving something, if he's reliving something else. And so I think he's going to try to not overreact, but inside his heart is probably beating quite fast, feeling out of control, not really sure what is going on right now.
That's actually a very good point. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh. Okay, that is a save 10.
10. Okay. I would say at this point, anything that's involving physical activity, well, we'll just actually keep it kind of even. You're going to be suffering from the poisoned condition right now. Obviously, you're not poisoned. You are dealing with a very weird sort of, I think the way it's kind of establishing for Riaris is that it is, there's a sort of jolty sort of feeling like after you've like passed out and you feel, you know, your heart racing, your everything in your body is kind of like pulsing in this weird sort of rhythm. You're unable to like grasp things as you normally would. You feel like even your walking or running feels out of rhythm. You feel kind of like almost like you're kind of not 100% with your body. As you're kind of like staring up, you're feeling your chest, looking around, and you're staring up at Captain Adebayo, who says, "Did you hear me, boy?"
Sorry, Captain. No, can you repeat yourself? I got lost for a second there.
You know what? It's fine. Just as you were.
Right.
Turns back around. Kind of gives you a weird look, stares back at you. And you hear him call out to the sailors. And there's a weird sort of like, at first there's just maybe it kind of connects you to like a sense of like deja vu as you're hearing the same speech being given. You look around, you don't see Kofi. But for Riaris, you know, you shouldn't see Kofi. Kofi wasn't here for this meeting. You're hearing him continue on. What do you do? Tell me, what does Riaris physically do here?
Am I able to see the island at this point? Are we getting close enough?
So yeah, I was gonna ask. So if you turn around, you look and you see Bombato coming. You're coming into port now.
Yeah, I think before I tried to stay at attention for a certain period. I think right kind of as he starts to walk away to speak, I'm hearing them and feeling it again, deja vu. And I look around and see the island, and probably like, okay, I know this place. I'm gonna immediately rush down to just gather my gear, just right off the bat.
Okay.
Yeah,
you got it. So I think just to make sure that we're handling the timey-wiminess of this, you would have gathered your gear beforehand. I think we established that you like had it on you, but if you want to like retcon and say that you had to go underneath to get it, you can. Correct me if I'm wrong too.
I think before I did have to go down and get it because I'm not really wearing it, while doing typical shit.
Okay, gotcha. But you did not pass by Kofi this time. Cool, awesome. So let's go ahead and just do a luck roll to see. Actually, that's right. I rolled to see if Kofi was. Wow, that's weird. I rolled a low number again. You do not see Kofi as you head down to gather your things, but you know. I am going to leave it your choice here, just for the record, because you know that Kofi wasn't there. And you're not like, to be clear, I think there's something with Riaris where you're like the deja vu of thinking like, oh, is fully worn off. Something's weird. You've done all this before. And I think you will kind of like role play it into the idea of like you're gathering your bag, like making sure your weapons are there, checking, the desk to make sure you didn't leave anything on there. And as you're doing it, you're kind of going slower in this. And is Riaris like whispering to himself? Is there anything like what is the how is this manifesting?
Yeah, no, that's great. I think I'm packing. Riaris is a pretty meticulous person. Everything is very orderly. And at this moment, he is thinking to himself, "Okay, I gotta go. I don't know what's going on, but this is the same place I'm going here. I've been this." And so he's feeling this like I gotta go. I gotta move. I gotta be ready. I gotta find you, and immediately. And so I'm just kind of chucking things in really more haphazardly. So I might even be open to forgetting something. I don't have a lot of possessions. But I do have the feeling I wouldn't spend a lot of time. But when I had gotten off the boat last time, Kofi was kind of up there, and I kind of just gave a look and we walked away. And there's just something lingering, being like, I feel like there was something that I need to see if I can find Kofi. I didn't see him on the way down. Maybe I can take a different route on the way up to see if I find him. But otherwise, I think his goal is still really get off the boat, but for a different reason than just I don't want to be on a boat anymore. It's like I need to get on the land. I need to go. I need to move something, because I don't know what's going on, but I know enough of the spirits not to question when something like this feels like it's happening. I think he has full faith that the spirits are involved in this somehow, and so he just has to blindly follow.
Yes, cool. I love that. I say you do know where like Kofi's room is. If you wanted to go to it, you could. But if you're, so that's fully up to you.
I think I would. I think I'd go by and knock on the door.
Okay, you got it. You knock on the door. You hear muttering inside the room as you see the door just manage to kind of like start to kind of like. He doesn't open the door. The door just happens to kind of move inward. It's this very like cheap wood underneath. I think there was probably phrases as you were discussing. As you were taking the voyage down that. Up until a couple of years ago, there were no doors to these rooms, right? Like that level of. But you see Kofi kind of just like leaning over a desk, head just in his hands, rubbing his temples. We see this figure, the dreads themselves kind of be pulled back, the purple vest not present. As he looks up and he goes,
Sorry to interrupt, Kofi. I know we're busy getting to port. I just wanted to come by and say thank you. I appreciate all the help you've given me on the trip.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I know we're bunking down for the night, so maybe I will. Maybe I can join you for a drink.
Right. You said the Emberlight Tavern, right? That's where I should head.
Yes. It's been some time since I've been there, but I'm sure Rasheen is still running it. Rasheen is a very interesting individual. They're well, you'll see.
Is there anything else about Bombato? You know I don't know anything that I'm doing, Kofi. Is there anything else you could help me? I want to go there, but I want to be helpful any way that I could. Do you know any other people or?
Well, it's been a solid year since I've been there. There's I'm sure it's very different since I've left, as I know that the Emberlight was really the only floor. I'm sure they've added others on the ship. If you're looking for work, I'm sure there's going to be there's probably some work maybe a little bit south of town. As far as I remember, that was even less developed than where the Emberlight is now. But I'm sure you'll make your way.
Give him a curt nod and feeling, okay, got it. You feel need to move. I'll offer a hand out, just offer him a handshake.
Takes it full arm shake.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope to see you later tonight then in the Emberlight. First drink's on me.
Fantastic. Great. Well, it would be nice to be able to get off this boat for... How long has it been for you? That's situation. It's been twice. Yeah. 20 days?
Too long, many days, I would say. Yes, that sounds about right. I'm ready for some... I mean, the fish is great. The cook, I appreciate him. But I'm ready to be on solid ground, you could say.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you again,
I will keep
Kofi. Likewise.
And as you walk out of his room, I think you shut the door behind you, and the voice echoes in your brain. Well, Rasheen, well, you'll see. And you hear that, and there's a part of you that goes like, I did see.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen Rasheen.
Right.
There's
as soon as he mentioned Regina, I was like, okay, but certainly trying to play it. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a part where you're, I think, as you mentioned with Riaris is now kind of in a point of like, okay, I believe everything that happened, and it's, the spirits are guiding me to be able to, I will figure this out in the end. Is that pretty much where Riaris is?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I think underneath there is a level of trepidation and not really knowing what, and still having the visceral memory of dying, but kind of still also stubbornness of going, I need to do something with this. I need to go, because the spirits are kind of telling him and pushing him. He feels that way, at least. He doesn't know if it's true or not.
Awesome. Very cool. Okay. So as the ship gets nearer to the docks, we pull out from this scene as we see Riaris, you come back up on the deck, and you for sure see a figure staring back at you, and probably in a similar position, I assume. And we zoom into that figure as we see Yoon standing on the dock alone. Mere seconds after having that same sort of experience yourself. And we can flash back a little bit if we needed to. Or sorry, not seconds. It would be probably a solid minute.
The only thing I think I would have done different up to that point, because there was who's the person who was out with me?
Marv.
So what I would have said to him when talking about his look, would be more encouraging as far as Marv, you have a unique and wonderful look. You should own the excitement of what you look like and be confident. You look amazing.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Yoon. I'll I gotta get back to work.
I'll see you in there.
Yep, puts his pipe away and walks out. Yoon, as you see the ship approaching, Riaris on deck, the figure kind of coming into you, I'd say maybe like 60 feet away. I would like you to also give me a Constitution saving throw.
Sure. Solid 9.
Okay. Same thing, poison condition.
Yeah.
How is this, what is going through Yoon's mind right now?
Well, this isn't the first time Yoon has woken up to a strange situation or a place he hasn't been before. Although this is a place he's been before. I think he's in his head. He's thinking about what the next steps need to happen. That they need to go into the Emberlight Tavern. They need to talk to Sylvia, but he's rolling with it. I feel like he's just sort of. He still has a great big smile on his face, shuffling cards, and he's very much waiting for Riaris on the dock this time, like looking for him, and if he sees him, honestly, just waving to him. Fantastic.
I love that so much. As we see Yoon waving to our Azamar friend Riaris, this is your first interaction with someone that you know for sure is not acting exactly as they were before.
Yeah, I
Which-
think. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Well,
go ahead.
I think Riaris, he'd be up there, he'd been ready like he was before, and is looking for Yoon as well. And so he's kind of looking around down, and he sees Yoon kind of waving, and is ready to just hop down. I'm almost no. I think his sense of duty would prevent him from just going down at the first opportunity. He still wants to get down, tie off the boat. But I think Riaris struggles with that a little bit, to be like, oh shit, like let me go down. No, let's not get too excited here. Try to
Love
play
it.
cool, but he's getting excited.
So, sorry, are you saying that you don't do your jump? That you did
I do the
before?
launch. What I'm saying is,
Okay.
like, instead of being like the very first possible opportunity of getting off the boat to go see Yoon, he's still going to try to wait until it's reasonable. Do the launch, do the same thing, tie off the boat, basically do the same thing, but immediately kind of go over to Yoon as soon as possible.
Awesome. So I would have you roll,
Sure.
but you already did this. You know exactly where that push off, where that landing is. There's a weird sense as you step down onto the deck, in the exact spot that you did before. And everything just, it almost feels like there's a sense of like you're following a mental sort of hologram of yourself. As you kind of turn to kind of tie the boat off, you do it exactly as you did before. And it's easy to do because you're following almost a vision of what you had already done. Everything seems to kind of fall in that same motion. And that's going to stay with you for as long as you're doing everything as you did before. All the checks that you're making, before, you wouldn't be making because you've already done them. Anything different, you feel you're having to push away from this almost hologram, like I said, a mental sort of image is a new experience, and therefore that is becoming something different. So that is what you're dealing with in the poison condition, that change. That's what makes that difficult. So you and Riaris, you guys plop on the deck. Riaris, you tie it off. The boat sort of comes in. You see the same reaction looking up as you see everybody like kind of like staring at you, and then like kind of like hitting themselves, hitting each other, and then kind of like walking away to the stations where they're supposed to be at. And you turn and face Yoon.
Yeah, so I kind of turn. I'm not even really looking at the boat near as much as looking, and I just go, Yoon?
Greetings and felicitations, my dear compatriot. You seem significantly less dead than last time I saw you. Are you feeling all right?
I am not sure exactly. Okay. So you remember I died, right?
Well, you may have died. You were definitely going to die.
I was definitely
That's for
dying.
sure.
And then I got back on the boat, and now I'm coming in. Okay. So I'm not fully crazy.
We need to talk to Sylvia earlier. That's the main thing. I think so we need to find Car, and then we'll enter the Emberlight. When there's only one road, you take it with a smile. We have to just go with what this is.
I
Cool.
nod
Let's
and
find
definitely,
Car.
yeah. Let's go find him.
So we're gonna look around for
Yeah, you guys start to kind of walk off, and as you're walking, we're gonna kind of cut back to as two taloned feet step onto the sand. Car, go ahead and give me that Constitution saving throw first.
All right. Let me see. Ooh, I like that one. 18.
18. Nice. was hoping someone would make it. With an 18, you're like full on. You're feeling things how you imagined Kara would be feeling. For some reason, there is a sense of warmness around you as you're trying to kind of make sense of what just happened. You never experienced anything like this before, but there is a you do feel this sort of like warm glow around. It's not the air. It's not the tropical sun or the it feels spiritual. And you hear, and it is warm, but you also hear that. Yeah, it's true. You hear that phrase in your head, "Come find me."
Okay, since I roll an 18, can I push against my past a little bit more?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I don't want to circle around looking for my yurt. As soon as I realized what's going on, I just wanted to send directly, like as he's saying, "Let's find Car." I want to have Lan be like, "Yeah, you found Car."
I love that so freaking much. Yes, absolutely. So as you guys kind of turn, and you guys, your passive perception is kind of broken right now because you've already had that passive perception happen. So Car, immediately as you turn around, is just right there on the dock.
Just landing.
I love it.
Car's here. Hi.
Let's find 1,000 gold pieces.
No, we need to find
All right, just Car. All right.
Yeah.
Salutations, friend. Shall we?
Yeah, I wrap like an elder bird would. I wrap my one large ring around them both and kind of start walking up to the bar.
Okay.
I think Car, you remember everything too?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't understand.
Have you don't understand? Okay. All right.
Spirit's guide, but don't take
Let's
that.
well, let's go find Ogra and avoid people in hats.
Cool. We're going to do a little fun thing here. Ogra, we're going to start with you a little bit further back than we met you. You are just coming out of the clearing of the deep forest. I imagine you're kind of like you're pulling like the branches and things that kind of like have like stuck onto you as you're moving through. We see this kind of opening through the like large palm fronds as you come in, and at first you're seeing the beached ship out in front of you. You see windows, things like that. You see like there's fire on. And you see fire in the windows. That means people. So this is a good place to start. And you start walking forward. And as you do so, you feel this. Doesn't stop you in your tracks, but it does make you pause. I need you to also give me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. I don't think I'm going to make it. Constitution is going to be a 9.
9. You feel your heart beating extremely fast all of a sudden. I fully don't think Ogra understands what like a like a heart attack is or anything with like in that realm, or an anxiety attack, or but you feel yourself I think for Ogra it feels like you've been running faster than you've ever ran before, but your limbs feel somewhat fine, maybe a little bit numb. As you're touching sand, from the heavy sort of forest floor that you came off of. You feel the ogre does not wear shoes, right?
Nope, barefoot.
You got it. So as you're touching sand, you feel like you should be aware of the feeling of that sand between your toes. You felt sand before, of course, and you're feeling like those senses are pulled back for some reason. It's up to you, but I do imagine Ogre kind of like pushes that aside and is like, I gotta go find someone. That's the more important thing here.
Ogre's the term, follow your heart. It's beating so fast, Ogre must be in the right direction.
I love it. Awesome. Cool. So we see, in that moment, we see Ogre, kind of run in, from Ogre's perspective, we see Ogre start to kind of like run right into the large ship itself, running through the entryway, and we stop just outside as we see Riaris in the far distance leap off the ship. Fade to black. As we come back up, we see a hand, grayish blue skin, writing something down. It almost looks like it's some sort of ledger. We can see a very large wooden desk as we start to kind of zoom out. We see that hand comes up to this sort of jet black, like a long sleeve shirt, right? And pulls back to a shadowed face from one side as the light is kind of streaming in from the hut that you're currently in. As we zoom into the face itself, Zed, can you please describe your character for us?
All right. So in the hut, I'm probably just sitting behind the desk, just doodling down just what I went through for the day, thinking about like what's gonna happen next. I'm like, talk to fish today. Yep. Need people to go out with. Yep. Fish are friends, not food. Yep.
You say talk to fish today, and I think if I may, we're going to do a lot of this is going to be a yes and moment. As we pull back from the desk, we see there is an extremely small tank with a very large fish in it. We see kind of rainbow sort of. I would say probably more of prismatic sort of skin as we see this big kind of jaw that is extending, kind of going up and down, that is staring at you while you're writing. Do you say anything to your fish?
Well, I'm probably drawing. Okay. So when do you think we're gonna get some people in? It's been a while. We haven't had anything. Yeah. That's good. Blah blah too. Too bad I can't understand you. I can only speak to you. You think I'm losing my mind? Nah, that can't be it. Yeah.
Zed, give me a perception check, please.
All right. I got an 18.
Nice. I'm going to say also give me, this is going to be kind of a weird ask, but give me an Arcana check.
I got a 9.
I'm sorry. Does it say what the die roll was on there?
Yeah, it was a 9 flat.
A flat 9? Okay, cool. What would it be if it was survival?
Survival. Where are we?
It's alphabetical, so it'll be near the bottom.
Would have been 23.
What?
What a difference. I love it. Wait, hold on. That's not possible. Hold on. Wait a minute.
I think
no.
you have a plus. You have a +5. So
You've
Yeah,
plus
no,
5.
it'd have been 18.
Okay. Still.
Got the magic dice, man. You want me?
Oh, good. With an 18, you so 18 perception, 18 survival. Cool. So 18 perception, you hear some commotion as you hear the sounds of a. Trying to think of how this reference here. I think with an 18, your body is kind of in tune with hearing guests coming to shore, as that means business for you, which is what you were told to kind of look out for. So as you happen to kind of like look out the window just past the fish tank of our fish friend, and you look up and you see that there is a ship that is just docking right now. You see there's a figure that is tying it down, and then a robed individual, red skin, truly about maybe like 100 feet away. 120 feet away, we'll say.
Okay.
Do you walk outside?
I'll probably like poke my head out, see what's going on, get the sense of like.
Cool. As you poke your head out, it's an 18. You see a winged figure come down onto the dock, far out, that 120 feet away there. As we see the quick conversation that you don't hear this conversation per se, but you see that they're converse that this figure, and actually, I'm sorry, I'm asking you for so many checks right now, but give me one more history check, please.
All right, so let's get up this history. 13.
Awesome. 13, I'll roll for it. I'll roll for it again. That was crazy. I rolled 2 13s. That was weird. Cool. Great. With a 13, you see just a figure like you've seen Aarakocras before. This one looks particularly interesting. All black feathers. No sort of colorful plumage. That's interesting. But that's it. That's all you kind of get from that. However, with the 18 on your survival check, you look down and you, or something tells you to kind of like look down as you're kind of like looking out in the area, and you see about maybe 20 feet off from you is a set of footprints, taloned footprints. They're not leading anywhere. It could be just from a bird that landed and then head off, but they're rather big. What's confusing to you in this moment is that you saw them and then you didn't. Or sorry, and then you don't, excuse me. You see them in the sand, and it's not like the sand just all of a sudden like wind blew and it just blew away on there. It was like you blinked and they weren't there. What does Zed do with this?
Let's see. So, I'm looking out, I look down, footprints, blink. I'm gonna blink a couple more times. And then I'm probably gonna like start like messing with the sand. Just like see if there's something under it.
Cool.
I'm like
awesome.
On my belly, halfway out the door, like messing with the sand, not where the footprints are, but like I'm halfway out the building, just swiping the sand like that, seeing if there's like quicksand or something going on.
Okay, so the footprint is about maybe like 20 feet away from you. So you're just checking the sand in general, or are you trying to check
closest to me in case there's like something going on.
I love that. Cool. So you're hanging out the window as you're as you're trying to like touch the sand itself. Feels normal. It feels like a normal day.
All right. So at this point in time, would they all have like gathered up?
Right now, what you see is you see three figures that are quickly making their way inside the Emberlight Tavern, or well, excuse me, inside the very large structure of the Bombatos Resort that is still not fully finished. It's still under pieces of construction. You were guided at one point by the powers that be, that if you play your cards right, eventually maybe you'll end up getting a job in the resort itself.
Okay. All right, but they haven't made it quite in yet.
Haven't made it quite in yet. They're about 120 feet away.
All right, and do I see Ogra coming that way as well?
You did not see Ogra. We actually moved a little back in time because Ogra came in right when, and this is, I know this is super confusing for me too, and I'm the one that's making it up. Ogra actually came in just as the ship was coming in.
Okay. So I see these three new faces looking all buddy going up to the resort.
Mhm.
And they're about 120 feet. That would be like shouting distance.
Sure.
All right. While I'm hanging halfway out the window, I'm just going to look up at them and I'm going to yell, "What's your names?"
Okay.
And it's going to be a dead stare straight at them. "What's your names?"
120 feet, there's no perception check required. You're yelling. Yoon, Riaris, and Carr, you both look over in that direction and you see there is a sea elf with a very interesting sort of like almost has this sort of like weird presentation of almost bedhead and like almost this weird like sort of anime spikes sort of like thing to it, honestly. Staring out at you, body half out the window, yelling to you. Obviously you guys know there's somewhere you have to be. So question is, does anyone respond or do you all like fully ignore?
You can definitely respond.
Above board, I'm going to tell you that as a DM, I will handle no matter what you guys choose. So
right.
Keep in mind.
Well, Yoon's always looking for characters for people who look interesting and different, and also this is a new thing. Like, we did this, but this person didn't interact with us the last time at all. So this is new. So this is new. Sparks my interest at least. Mm-hmm. And I know we are also end winged from Carr. He's kind of gathering us toward it. So, he might, as they're walking past, unless Carr stops, at least say, "Oh, you're new. Well, I am the irrepressible Unirelli. We're going inside. If you'd like to meet us, we'll be there."
Yes, I love it. Given the full introduction and being pulled away. It's so good.
I think a car will like let go of the wing a little bit, but when it sounds like Yoon is talking too much, he will then do the pulling thing like, no.
I love it.
Yeah.
But
like
Yoon
I was about to go into my
over...
full spiel.
Yeah.
Yoon does look over his head because he's thinking the same thing, like, well, this is new, that might be important. And he'll take one of his clawed hands, just point at the Emberlight while looking at Zed.
Cool.
And then just keep walking, though. He's not introducing himself, but just like, nope, we got somewhere to be, but we're going there.
Cool. You got it. Carr, you are a little bit distracted with the mission that you have there. So I'm going to say, because of this, I do need a check for it. Okay. Give me a perception check. I'm going to say you have advantage on this.
All right. I got to find it. There it is. Well, that'll work. Nat 20.
Oh.
So,
I mean, my only what's the only thing that's bugging me is how to reward this nat 20 in the situation.
I was getting ready to
Yeah.
ask if I can cast guidance on myself, but I don't think I have to.
Yeah. All I can tell you is, without a doubt, you saw this when you came in the first time.
Okay.
Without a doubt, the figure that is hanging out the window is hanging out the window of a hut where your yurt is supposed to be.
Okay, that changes my reaction.
I figured.
So,
Oh, wow.
that completely changes my reaction. I will do the whole come with us. I will do the whole pointing. But then, let me make sure I have this because I think I do. I do not. I didn't take it. Never mind. I want him to come with us.
You trying to cast suggestion on him?
No. How far away? How far away is his door?
120 feet. We'll say pretty much about the same. We'll keep it easy.
Damn, too far away. So I'll just yell, "Come, come!" as I'm putting them away, and I'm looking right at Zed because I
Cool.
do want to talk to him about my yurt.
Zed, I do think you hear that phrase. I think you understand it. It's up to you.
All right. So he's telling me to go with him. All right. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna give him just a blank face, just a back into the window, and I'm just gonna turn to my fish, and I'm just gonna be like, possible new people for a trip.
Boy.
Should I go? Okay, give me 2 blubs for yes, 1 for no. The no means I shoot a dart over with a note. That was a succession. Wasn't fast enough. 2 for yes, 2 fast, 1 for no. You ready? Go. He said no. I seen it in the lips. Oh, great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna quick no, and I'm gonna blow dart it over to them, not at them, but like somewhere around their feet or a sidewall or somewhere where they can visibly see it. And the note's going to say, "Come after your visit." Like basically say, when you're done there with your business, come to my business. And it's gonna
love
look
it.
like a really crappy hand-drawn flyer that says,
Beautiful. I love that you're writing it
it's
right
gonna
now.
say, "Come to my place." It's gonna be like scribbles from being excited.
No, maybe.
What
Hey,
language
hey.
is it? Can we read it?
Hey, Drew. Welcome home, man. Welcome home. Amazing. Fantastic. Yeah. One thing I would like, and feel free to get creative here on this, as we're still kind of in the developing sort of point to this. What happens with the blow dart? So you're using the blowgun. There's a couple different things that we could like. I have a couple ideas, but I truly want you to tell me: does it travel normally? Does it? Is there anything odd that seems to happen in from shooting that blowgun in a very quick succession and just shooting it out at them?
So normally my range with it would be 100 feet. But what this is gonna do is, since I've used the blowgun like since I was little, growing up, that's how I survived, that's how I got food, that's how I worked my way to where I am today. I know a little bit about it. So what I did was, as I did it, I'm just rip, and I'm folding it, and I'm like, and I put the dart through it, and I fold it, put it in. As I spit it, you see a paper airplane that gives it just
my
that
God,
20 feet as it's circling through the air right over to them.
I was expecting
Dude,
you to say the dart's the shape of a flying fish.
dude, just
A little paper airplane that's spiraling
paper
as it's
airplaning
going.
a dart
Amazing.
is genius. I'm just gonna say that is so freaking funny. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, okay. Here's one thing I will say on this front, because we are gonna put just a small. We're gonna put a finger into real world physics here. Shooting the paper airplane on this will work. It will absolutely get there. It's going to take a little bit longer though. So what I think will happen, to be able to kind of like finish this out, is that you guys see a full 100 feet of just like I'll put it this way. You guys don't see the dart until about 100 feet. And then right about 20 feet away from you, you see this it's just small paper airplane. There's no other way to explain it. It literally just looks like a paper airplane that just has this dart sort of sitting in it. There's kind of like, it comes and like rests perfectly in front of the entrance just at your feet.
Fantastic. And I'm going to pick it up.
Yeah.
I think yeah. He wants us to come to his place. It's I think maybe he had his child write it, or maybe he's trained an animal to do it. But yes, that's interesting enough that we will absolutely go to his place. But he's not coming now, I suppose. So we'll put a pin in it.
Fantastic. I think all this is happening as you guys are walking. Like, I think Yoon is having this conversation with the group, but mostly himself, as the rest of you are just like, dude, we gotta go, man. We gotta.
It's a paper airplane. Just like, what are you doing?
Yeah. We got things. What is your deal? That's so good. Awesome.
Car's a little frustrated with this whole "I'm not going to come later" because I'm like, I don't want to repeat this again.
You come over here.
I cast prestidigitation.
Okay.
Because I can make a color small marker symbol appear on an object for an hour. With the wing that I'm using to guide them, on the back of one of the feathers, I make an arrow to the point we're going, and I kind of stick my head up over the arrow and point to Zed like, no, you go this way. And then I come back down.
That's so good. A really weird, obscure reference that I think only my wife will appreciate is the Hey Arnold bit where there is I don't remember her name, but it is, or her boyfriend, but the Hey, is it Johnny? You just hear this phrase back and forth of like, get over here. No, you come over here. That back and forth. Fully lost in translation, but what I'm saying, guys, is watch Hey Arnold. It still holds up. Okay.
Stoop kid.
Stoop kid, afraid to leave the stoop. God. Hey Arnold, TTRPG, anyone? All right, let's get back to the game. So as you guys enter into the Emberlight Tavern, you hear Ogra talking with Marv. I will say that there's pretty much no difference. I think the only thing I'll say is that probably it feels like you kind of are coming in a little bit like earlier in the conversation than you originally did. But the same thing, you hear Ogra kind of like really leaning into Marv, who now has this it has the tablecloth that has been like cut into a hole and is draped over himself. But you see there's also these like interesting like little wooden bangles that he's kind of like put around his wrists. that just barely kind of fit. Like I think they're supposed to like they look more like they're just like small miniature wrist bracers. But I think you kind of get the idea of like they're supposed to be like some sort of like bracelet sort of thing to kind of accessorize more. And you see the yeah, I think you see like Marv's kind of like start to kind of like walk off, which is different. So Ogre is alone in this moment. You guys are kind of like coming up to Ogre at this. So Ogre,
Yeah,
I think you're just kind of like.
I mean, we're assuming the same with everybody else in the group that she would still remember as everybody else did. So I think first thing, unless Car, you were planning on going straight to Sylvia because you think that's more important. Otherwise, I think we'd go to Ogre. It's kind of up to you.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're gonna go and. So then, I guess we go up to the table. Greetings, noble goblin. Do you remember us?
Stranger danger! Stranger danger!
Go ahead, keep going.
She like just gets off the table and starts walking away.
Wait, young lady, do you need some assistance? We are three helpful chaps.
We're
here to
searching
help
for
you.
goblins. Goblins. Searching.
We're searching for goblins too?
Yes. Come. And I go to where Sylvie came out of the door. Now that I have her attention, I start bringing the group to where Sylvie came from.
You got it.
Cars
Yes, I love it. So Sylvia is sorry, gang, 1 second. I'm having doing some weird volume setting stuff. Weird. We'll deal with it. It's fine. Let me know if like the music or anything gets too loud or whatever. Okay, cool. Yeah, so as you kind of like are walking towards there's like that kind of like the curtain where Sylvia kind of like came out of, like just kind of behind that. The stage itself is relatively pretty low, so pretty easy like kind of get to. But I will say before you get there, you see a figure just once again just kind of slides into frame. Oh, friends. Sorry, this is the backstage area, but I can. I don't believe I've seen most of your faces here before. My name is Rasheen. I am the owner of this bar. Can I get you guys a drink or anything?
Sylvie's expecting us. Yes.
Sylvia's expecting you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Looks around at all of you. Expecting all of you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, if you don't mind just waiting right here, I'll go fetch it. And you see him turn. Actually, I'm going to say, Card, go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Guidance.
Yes. Oh, you're. I was gonna give it to myself, but sure. Can you give it to yourself?
Yes, guidance you can.
Okay. Well, but thank you. So what am I adding to it?
It's just a D4.
D4. Okay, so that's 12 plus 4, 16.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so with the 16, I'll say you see like Drew, I'm sorry, man, I'm gonna have to mute you again. Okay, so with a 16, you see Regine, the owner, looks definitely perturbed at the very random group of people around. Ogra, where would you say that you are? Would you have kind of like moved further into the bar with like past the tables or whatnot?
I believe she would be closer to Yoon because she would probably think Yoon is a goblin like herself.
Okay.
And so
Are you well? Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. You have no. Remember, you don't remember anything.
No. So they say they know where her clan is. She's gonna follow them. Clan's in the bar. Clan is behind this curtain.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right, sweet. So as you see Regine kind of go behind the curtain for a second, there's a pause to be able to like there's an opening sort of space here that I would say, probably a solid couple minutes if you guys wanted to try to catch up in this moment.
So there is it's a person in a hat that took your family, your friends, your clan, I believe.
Clan, I think, wasn't it?
Something about a hat, I believe.
Are
Weird hat.
you psychic?
I sometimes I have a little bit of the touch. Sure.
What? How do you know all
Also,
this?
we just heard around. I've been in this establishment for several days now. I hear things.
And she's gonna speak in Goblin. Are these people taking you against your will? And it's just gonna.
I love it.
I do not.
You don't speak Goblin? I love it. Give me a what do I want to give you? Give me a nature check, I think.
Okay. What I was going to do is try to, that sort of confidence man way, just respond with body language in a way that's vague but positive. Just
Okay.
sort of like, yeah. And so I was maybe a performance check for that.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll do the nature check too if you will. Yeah, I just wanted to.
absolutely. No, go for it.
So the nature check is a 4. So that's not the
Cool.
greatest.
You're not entirely sure what language that is. There's a possibility that Ogra like looks wild, like very much the wild woman. Like all the clothes are made or scavenged, mostly scavenged. You see the staff that she's holding. You're not entirely sure if she's like putting a curse on you. There's like, it's a little, you're not entirely sure if that was a language or not.
That's good because I'm rolling with disadvantage anyway from being poisoned. So I feel like that fits, like, because he would be off balance from it. Let's see what we get. I still get a 21.
Wow.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Like the 21, you somehow find a way to be able to be in a like ready sort of stance, but also inviting. Like you fully understand what she said. 21, Ogre, I would say you could try to roll a perception check, but I don't think, you give it a shot, maybe?
That's 15.
15. Cool. With a 15, you are pretty sure that Yoon fully understood what you said.
I think I'm sort of trying to look, how you can sometimes kind of, even in tone or in facial expression, look for what somebody wants to hear, a yes or no, and just like giving her the no that I'm, she asked if I'm being taken against my will, essentially. And I could see like, maybe, no. But in body, like just,
That's so good. That is Evan. That seemed extremely practiced, friend. Love it. Cool. In this moment, there's a weird. Well, in this moment, actually, Briaris, I'd like you to give me a perception check.
Nine. Roll the night.
Okay, you got it. With a 9. You. I'll roll for it. Make sure there's a chance. Okay, nope, there's no chance. Great. So what you do not see is a figure come into the bar behind you. From the camera side, there is a rather drunken-looking individual carrying a very big bottle of rum. This figure looks to be relatively well-dressed. You guys have met, well, Carr had met this person before. And actually, I'm sorry, Carr, I should give you a perception check on that. That's only fair. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Get back. There it is. Perception. 4. My luck has run out.
4.
Hard.
Incredible. Awesome.
We're back,
Yeah.
guys,
Okay.
We're back.
And my dice are back.
Clearly he's not important to the story, so that's totally fine.
Yeah.
He moves. The dice are telling us. So you see him kind of like move out into the background, and like kind of like try to find a seat and just kind of like throws himself down onto it. I'd say about another 10 seconds go by, and you see the curtains open, and Ogra, for the first time, you see Sylvia. She is dressed like she's ready to put on a performance. But you see, like, kind of like, you don't see actually, like, you don't get like a good sort of like look at her as she is immediately taking, like, she pushes open the curtains and grabs Riaris's hand and says, "Let's go." And starts to guide you out.
I
will. Yeah. Sorry.
bring my wings back in close and follow her.
You got it. Cool. You get. I have to do this. You guys start to kind of like move out of the bar. Ogre, are you joining?
Ogra's probably being led by the others, like with her hand, and she's like, as soon as she sees what she's wearing, she does this, saying, "Ogra doesn't really want to see a peep show." Or
Love it. Yep. Head just. Yep. So good. Cool. And Sylvia kind of like guides you out. As everybody leaves the scene, we stay into this room for a second as we see the drunk individual kind of like looks up and goes, "Where'd everybody go?" And then we fade to black as that person will now cease to be any involvement in this story whatsoever.
this character sheet and backstory crumbled.
Yeah.
Just crumpled up and thrown in the bag.
Cross out those plot lines.
GMs
pages
everywhere
of
know
backstory.
exactly what I'm talking about. Yep. Cool. You see, so Sylvia starts to guide you out as she guides you out of the Emberlight Tavern. I would like everybody to give me a perception check with advantage. Which, if you have, if you're poisoned, it's a straight roll.
Sorry, perception? Is that what you asked?
Yes.
Ooh, natural 20.
I got a 17.
I'm giving myself
Nice.
guidance.
8.
17 from
15.
You say was sorry, I just fully broke.
I got a 17.
Okay, cool.
No, sorry, it's a 11.
11. 15 from Carr,
15 for me.
15 from you. Okay, cool. And then Riar's roll a natural 20.
Yep.
Everyone sees another boat start to come into the port. Ogre, what'd you get?
I got an 11.
Cool. Ogre, you see it. You don't recognize the ship. gonna say that's the difference there. But Riaris, with a natural 20, you see the ship. You recognize it as one of the last things you ever saw. You see that it's still making its way to dock. It actually has to dock in a separate sort of area, sort of further in, as it is a very large galleon-sized ship. It just barely is able to kind of make it into this area here. With a natural 20, what I was going to have you guys do is to roll a stealth check for me. With a natural 20, Riaris, you see the ship before the ship sees any of you, or anyone on the ship sees you. So Riaris, as you see that ship, knowing what the result of that ship is, tell me what you do.
So we're outside, just on the sand, or is there places to hide, or just kind of what's the situation?
So you're on the beach. You actually see there's if you remember the scene itself, there is actually like other like sort of market stalls, none of which are actually seem to have anyone currently behind it right now. So there are plenty of sort of like places to kind of like hide behind. I'd say there's one market stall you see that's a little bit bigger. Actually, I'll actually roll. I mean, Sylvia doesn't really need to roll. She knows what's there, but she rolled a 6. So she is guiding you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would just kind of look and then duck my head or try to find him, be like, shit, we should hide. Sylvia, are we safe here? The hat crew is coming in, guys. I don't really want to die again. Yep.
Cool.
Bombato.
If you ask Sylvia, she'll tell you like, no time. We need to go. If they see us, they see us. But with a nat 20, like I said, you can find a way to be able to. I'll put it this way. I think with a nat 20, you see you see the direction of where she's going. Ironically enough, it is where you got that note. This was the plan all along, gang. So as you see Sylvia kind of like heading that direction, you notice that like behind some of the huts would be a good way to be able to kind of like go and not be noticed. We'll say you can kind of like break off from Sylvia at this point right now, or you could just try to like coax her over, just in case. Can we, like, it's not going to make a second is not going to make a difference here. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So which one do you do? Do you try to like pull her into this, or do you convince her? How do you do it?
I don't think I would pull her. Definitely would not want to do that. So I would try to convince her. And sorry, my audio cut out for a second there. So
it's okay.
I'm trying to convince her not to just walk out in the open, basically.
Cool.
Yeah. Sylvia, it's no good running. I don't think if they're gonna see us, we can't be seen. I just have to feel that.
You see her look. She does like this weird double take. She looks at you and then looks at you again. Seems to see something. I'm gonna say with a natural 20, you see she looks at your face, but then you see her eyes dart to your ear. And she goes, okay, all right. And you guys kind of take the long way sort of around to Zed's shack. Zed, as you see figures approaching, before anything, please tell me, is there any, like, you've probably been at this establishment for, give or take, maybe like anywhere between 3 to 6 months, we'll say. Did you name it?
So I probably named it something along what the business would be. So probably something like Sights to See.
Sights to See. I love it. Awesome. So you, as you guys are kind of coming closer, you see this big sort of sign that says Sights to See on it, written in this very similar sort of handwriting. A big, like, kind of big kind of like etched out letters onto a large piece of driftwood over this cabin. The cabin itself is relatively pretty like rinky-dinky. Kind of looks like it's like just about to sort of topple over. And you guys head right on in. So Zed, you see customers.
All right, I'm probably just at the desk. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for them. As soon as they walk in. Oh,
Oku's just gonna bust through the door thinking this is where the goblins are and run straight to him and pick him up and just go, where are they?
Nightmare! Oh god! Hold on! I got just what you need. Hold on. Let me see here. I know it's around here somewhere. We got not that. Oh, he's got 2 left feet. Not anymore. It's somewhere around here. I gotta find it. Not that. No.
While he's doing this,
Why not talk about that?
Shutters. I close shutters and doors.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
Riaris
yeah.
is like getting everybody in, and he's like, "Ogre, shut up!" You know, like here to like start shaking him,
That's
like,
nothing.
You know, trying
Ignore
to be
that.
stealthy about it.
Oh, right. Where is it? I know it's around here. Here. Is this what you were looking for? Tortoises. No. Here we go. A nice map of all the locations that I bring people to. Any of these look good? Maybe this one right here. Does that look like a nice place to go to?
Oku doesn't want to see your drawings.
No
There
worries.
was like a full 20-kilometer block of.
Incredible.
Don't worry.
Incredible.
If you ask my pet over there, he will tell you I am the best one for the job. And I'm just staring at him, heroic pose.
You specifically, you look over at the glass tank and you see this fish just give a very slow.
Loquacious, your friend is.
Oh, don't mind him. He likes to be smart sometimes. Anyways, are we looking to go on a trip?
At this point, Zed, you see among them is Sylvia. You've seen Sylvia before. Sylvia is a dancer at the Emberlight Tavern. Definitely not a tourist. Sylvia actually kind of like pushes through the group and just goes, actually, she'll say, okay, you take a timeout, dice. Sylvia looks at over at you, Ogre, and goes, Ogre, it's okay. Calm down. It's all right. Zed, we need your ship. Please.
All right. So we need my ship. What are we looking to pay with? We're paying with coin.
Zed, I will pay. I mean, you know me. I will pay you. Can we go now?
All right. Are we talking about position? Maybe further up?
You see there's a pause, and then she goes, yes, absolutely. That's exactly right. If you're able to kind of expedite some of the things to be able to kind of push us on out, I will make sure that I talk to Regine first thing. Okay,
then as she tells me that, I'm just going to pull a whole thing from that show, MXC, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. I'm going to take my flute. I'm going to be like, let's go, and just start walking off.
I love it. As you guys start to travel down, you see he kind of opens. I'm gonna again. This is a moment that I did not talk with Drew on here, so Drew, follow along with me with this if you can. You see him open up a hatch, and like says, "Okay, come on, let's go." And as you guys kind of follow him down the hatch, there's a moment where Sylvia looks over at Yoon and kind of like exchanges a face and just goes, I don't like lying, but eventually we'll put in a good word, right? Okay. And you see all of you start to head down into the hatch. And as we see we pull kind of back from the room that we're currently in, and we see the fish tank with the fish just, and we hear that hatch slowly. And we fade to black. And with that, we're going to take our 10-minute break. We'll see you guys in 10. Okay. Welcome back. So we are shifting into a rather dark, wet cave is where we find our heroes here. Sorry, I'm looking for the ambience on that. There you are. So, as you are traveling down, well, let's get a marching order, actually. Zed, obviously you're leading. Who's after that?
I think Riaris would have taken up the rear, closing the hatch, going on the way down.
Okay. Good.
I would think that Sylvia would be kind of at the head of the group because she's kind of still pulling us towards stuff, and then I'd be happy to be after Sylvia, but it might be Car too, because Car's been pretty forward as far as like, let's go, let's do this thing. So it's kind of.
Car probably has been forward until he had to go into a hole.
Okay.
He's like, "You want me to go where?" Like, and he goes. But he
My loyalty ends now.
Probably goes ahead, and then he's like,
Okay.
All right, and goes down.
I love it.
He's clearly not claustrophobic, but bordering on it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I love it.
How tall are the tunnels?
Not very tall. So yeah, we see Ogre kind of like having to kind of like duck her head down. Riaris every like 20 feet or so, I'd say the first couple times we hear this like nasty sort of clang as your extremely long, large lance like hits against the ceiling. Sylvia at some point up ahead, we hear this like kind of heavy sort of cave echoes. Goes, "Hey Zed, is this? I wasn't aware this is where your ship was. This is where you take all the tourists?"
No, we usually use the dock, but this was closer. You know, it's a little bit of a scenic route. Stay out of the water. There's fire urchins down there. They do burn.
Wait, no, hold on. Is it closer or is it the scenic route?
We're taking the closer route.
Okay. I thought you said we're going to the dock, right?
Yeah, we're going to the dock. It's just, I may have dug an escape route in case of situations.
Zed is your name?
Yes.
Oversaw that you're an artist, but are you also scamming us? Are you a scam artist?
Oh no, I wouldn't do that. Just watch the water. There's, I don't know what that is. Oops. Oh, sea cucumber. It's fine. All right, this way. Just anybody got a torch, by the way? Light? No. All right, it's fine. Daylight will be ahead soon.
Do you have any sort of items or stuff on you in particular? Like what?
I
like
actually
weapons or
have,
anything?
I believe, night vision.
Probably not a lot. No, we're saying like what do we we'll put it this way. What does the character see from Zed in this moment? Like, are you carrying anything, right? Like what's the
So I have a petrified foot in probably my belt holster because I was holding on to that the whole time. I have probably a dagger on each side. I've got my dart on my wrist, and I have my blowgun on my back. As I'm like creeping through, I'm just like slowly like saying, "Don't no."
After he says that, like, does anybody have a torch or whatever? We also kind of be like, "Oh, it's a good idea," and I'll cast light on the foot that you have tucked into your back. Belt.
Amazing.
Oh yes. So probably like
a small lamp, and I'll use prestidigitation to light it. Just like hold it out.
Cool. You got
all
it.
right. So he put the light on the foot, and he's got the lantern.
Mhm.
All right, and everybody's behind me. So as I'm going, I'm seeing this light bright up, and I'm like, "Did you burn my foot?"
Makes like
I don't think it actually burns it. I don't really know. It's something that just kind of lights up. I think it's good.
Riaris, did you burn his foot? We're guests.
By
I don't think I have the
do you
skill to
think-
burn it. I've known people that can. It just glows. I don't know how it works.
Well, you know.
Pretty rude to burn someone's
As-
foot.
Say, you back there, the red one. This foot look familiar?
Oh, it's very bright.
give me a history check. We're gonna make this a roll.
So, I'm taking it with disadvantage. I'm poisoned.
Yeah.
That's a 7.
Could be the amount of peg-legged hobgoblins that are walking around your neighborhood. Your neighborhood alone, a lot. Could be any of them.
Car holds out his hand to the foot.
I haven't seen it, but it could belong to people that I've seen. I know really an unreasonable amount of people with no feet. So, I could bring it back and show them, but it's yours. So for now, I would say, you hold on to it. And I don't know whose specifically it is. Did you take it from someone?
No, I actually found it. I don't know. Petrified red foot. I was like, why
That's
not?
a regular, normal thing. Yes.
He hears Car hears the word petrified and goes, puts his hand down.
I hook it back on, like, into my belt. And I'm like, we'll just put a needle in it for now. And I just take one of my darts from my blowgun and just boop.
Love it. Cool. As you guys continue downward, there's a portion where it actually starts to kind of like even out. Car, you see something in the light that is reflecting off of the cave walls, that is kind of like sitting off to a corner, pushed aside. You see there's actually like a couple of other pieces of like crates and like a lot of like almost just like what I would call like ship junk, like things that are like kind of like random sort of items that assumedly Zed may have just like packed away as either unnecessary from what he was really looking through or what. But I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to hand the DM thing over to you.
Why?
For a second. What do we see that is familiar to Carr? Like it would be a representation of what once was there.
What was once in the cave, or what was once?
No, what was once in place of where the hut is now.
Oh, you probably see probably the symbol that was in the roof of the yurt. Probably like that material with the hole in it is probably like laying across one of the because probably discarded, like didn't know what it was, tossed it aside, but I recognize the edges of it, so it's kind of crumpled at the bottom of the crates.
Yeah, you see actually, you can see that there's this weird sort of like, no, it's not weird at all. You see that the like half of it seems to be burnt. Not from the sigil itself, but the entire sort of like you unravel and it looks like it's actually probably the whole tent. It's the whole like sort of like piece of it here, except that there's a good chunk of it is burnt away.
Why this? Why do you have this? And I start rolling it up very carefully.
Zed, you're relatively unfamiliar with what Carr is talking about. You were given this shack as a temporary housing that ended up being permanent housing.
What? That thing? Oh, so while I was digging this glorious pathway, I found that, like, under the shack. I wasn't sure what it was. I didn't want to toss it, so I started bringing stuff down here. Things I find, things that aren't that interesting, but I find them, I put them in here. So I figured, I'm not gonna throw that away. I'll just keep it by. You never know.
Yeah. Oh, well. He's rolling it up and folding it. Is it something that I could carry with me without too much trouble?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for saving it. And I put it across my back, and I don't even ask him a cost because it's mine. So,
yeah, Carr, give me a religion check, please.
okay. 21.
Nice.
With a 21, there's an assumption here. I think like past what we can see from the characters, we see, you know, a city that is on the brink of a very specific and very, like, fast-paced evolution into the realms of consumerism. It would be completely fair to assume that, you know, not necessarily for Carr, but for, I'd say, probably for the rest, after, you know, looking through certain things, and maybe even for Carr too, we're not entirely sure. It would be fair to assume that maybe it was just, you haven't been here for a while, we forgot traditions and said, we need the space. But why the burn?
Yeah, the burn. I was about to say, but why was it burned?
Yeah. Why is it burned, and why is it only burned halfway?
Yeah, Card. He thanked him. He's not being mean about it. But there's a little bit of disappointment in his face as he's rolling it up and putting it aside. The part of it, just like, okay, you know. And he does seem to take a little time and kind of touches the symbol that's that's painted on the inside of the earth, just like recognizing it, and then rolls it up.
Cool. I love that. Great. All right. And with that, you guys continue to walk through. At this point, the cave itself seems to kind of, like, open up slightly, going from Zed, the digging that you did has a random sort of feel from the initial sort of, like, kind of like going straight down, and at a certain point, and whether or not you wanted to admit this or not at the time, you actually happen to be able to kind of strike into some sort of, like, natural sort of pocket. That's where you guys are in now. This open sort of, you can see, like, your feet are actually touching down on water that's probably about maybe 6 inches deep. And we open up to this, like, weird sort of cavernous area. First off, this is a very, I wouldn't say this is a very important role, but this is a very interesting role that will affect a good point of the whole campaign. Drew, welcome, friend. Please give me a luck roll.
All right.
Let's screw it up.
See.
Don't screw it up.
Alright,
Fire
so
game,
luck roll.
finish roll, man.
Can I
That's
give
just-
him guidance?
God.
No.
This is
What?
just a straight
I
D20,
feel like
right?
you should because of your patron, Lady
I'm
of the Rock,
so
you know.
sorry. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
I apologize,
Guidance.
Evan.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Alright, but I am rolling a 20, right?
It's just
You
a
should
D20.
roll a
Yep.
20.
Just a
Yeah, go
D20,
ahead and
yeah.
roll a 20. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that 20.
Roll that 20, please.
Alright.
Or maybe that's bad. Who knows? This
Yeah,
is,
right. Who knows?
Luck roll is just a D20 roll. So bottom left-hand corner, there's a little die. You click on it, and it'll open up
Okay.
to 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so
just a
sorry.
raw
Thank
roll.
you, Evan. I don't know where my brain is at today. That is that when we say a luck roll, it is just a D20.
And then add a D4 to that.
Alright.
I'm also going to say you have a point of inspiration just for this roll, as we had someone jump in and say you got this, Ed.
So you
Alright.
may
So
re-roll
I
that.
can
You
re-roll it
essentially have
again.
advantage on this roll. Yep.
Nice.
That is way better.
I think that's nice.
And then add the
What'd you get?
D4.
18.
You get an 18, and then plus
22.
Four.
plus 4 on the D4. Awesome.
Bam.
Wow.
There we go.
Incredible.
Commentators
Okay.
saving the day here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. Thank you, friends. Amazing. Zed.
Yes.
Okay, cool. What we see sitting in this cavern, I'm sorry, I'll start the explanation here. What we see sitting in this cavern is a rather large and particularly very clean fishing boat. A fishing boat that is just it's a big enough size that one person maintaining it is possible, but very difficult. You'd have to be a very skilled sailor to do so. But Drew, I'm putting a lot on you, man, today. But so feel free to say I have no idea. Just fill in the blanks. But I'm going to allow you to describe to me. Give me some details about what this ship looks like.
All right. So, as you come up upon it, it is a wide bow. As you look down, the bottom kind of splits off into two. You look down the side, it's all wood all the way through. As you get towards the center, there's a top, I guess would be the main console, steering wheels in there. There's some broken glass. It looks like pieces of mirror on each side. There's like carvings of like very crude fish on the side, but yet elegant. It's almost like abstract all the way around. You go further down, there's a little bit of a passageway, and instead of like regular stairs, it's like a tiny spiral, like maybe 5-6 steps down into the boat. And that's where it's just an empty space all down there, all the way through. You go further down, you got like an empty platform off to some, what do they call them, little tie anchors, one on each side, and a little hole for a rod. And then just a flat back with I guess you could say a mast that would be arching up from the back over and connecting up to the center console top piece, like the roof. So you'd have like
Okay.
the center console, the roof, and it would kind of like arches up at an angle. Like I had to steam wood and bend it.
Okay.
And like
Interesting.
that's where like the mast would be. So
love
instead of
it.
it being straight up, it curves.
I'm going to tell you all right now. The miniature of this thing is going to look nothing like that.
I'm gonna move.
But I will try my-
I swear.
I
I'll
will.
get it.
I will try my darndest. I like
have
the
your hands rolled
covering.
the
I think I
fish.
could probably figure out a way to have some sort of like wooden covering to that. And I will repeatedly watch this to be able to listen to that description and see how close I could get.
You could have filled
Incredible.
it with treasure for us. You could be like, oh, and the inside is just full of magical items and like
Just a ton.
Just got back from a good,
The BBEG is there with the BBEG is in there with like a knife in his chest or their chest or her chest.
it is, yeah.
I have a
He's
feeling
more
it's
of,
like the scene
if
from
you
the
could carry
Goonies
it.
that we all just like stand up and we see the ship for the first time.
Say that one more time. Sorry,
Oh,
I
yeah.
missed you.
It's like the scene from the Goonies where we all see the
Mhm.
ship for the first time. But
Gotcha,
Olga
yeah.
has a look of pure horror on her face.
I love it. Awesome. So yeah, as we kind of like come out to this weird sort of cavern, and we can see just off about maybe I'd say probably like 100 feet away, we can see just kind of like light sort of shining through from an opening. As this is not inviting for tourists or anything at all, but it is impressive. As the rest of you start to kind of like walk towards the ship, there's a certain point where Sylvia kind of like loses her footing, and we find, okay, there's a steep incline right there. And she, you feel her kind of like grab onto your robe as she's like kind of like pulling herself up because, sorry. Sorry, I have to, because I can't really just go right from there. Hold on one second.
Riaris, this is going significantly better than last time. And
much better.
yeah, especially for you.
Well, we are also getting on a boat, which is not something I'm looking forward to, so to be determined. But yes, no, much better.
Okra's clan is on the boat, right? We're not like sailing, right?
You're looking at a boat
Isn't
right
it
now. That's the
a
scene right now.
beaut?
It is a.
Okay.
You know, I have to say, Zed, when I saw your shop, I didn't think this would be down here. So I have to say.
Oh, yeah. No, you got to take care of your ship, and it takes care of you. By the way, see that rock over there that's kind of shaped like an octopus? Don't go near him. He'll attack you. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he'll yeah, no, you don't want to mess with that rock. No.
Yep.
Yep.
100%. Yes, absolutely. You see there is a clear like sort of like triangular rock that is jutting up, almost like to call it a rock is absolutely fair, but it's probably up maybe like 5 feet tall. And you see there are rocks around it that are kind of like scattered into like this sort of like pebble formation, along with a ton of other rocks are here. It looks exactly like that. But with Zed pointing that out, let's have Carr give me a nature check, please.
$17.
17, nice. With a 17, you see that the rocks that are around it actually do have a slight discoloration from the rest of the rocks in the light as they're walking by, and you can see that they must be tentacles that are dug into the ground. As you all take a wide berth around what is probably a roper maybe.
Oh God.
I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
to make sure what it.
Roper
So
is-
as you guys do so, I mean, might as well. Yeah, let's go with it. Everybody,
I
roll me a
call
stealth
it
check.
Oh boy.
remember to roll with disadvantage because you are poisoned.
I do anyway, so. You know,
I'm not poisoned, but I rolled a wonderful
fair
4.
shout out.
No, that's good.
Good.
That is a
No, you're
5.
poisoned,
got-
aren't you?
A
Am I
23.
poisoned?
No, you're not
4,
poisoned. No.
5,
Okay,
23.
you made this check, but we didn't. Why can't
I
I?
think
Just
Card
before
made
we
the check.
start-
Too. I think it's just you. And
I
me.
made the check. I just rolled I rolled terribly.
I see.
Yeah, just before we started going around it, I'm like,
good,
I
good,
call
that's
it a
good.
rocktopus. Just be careful. The first time I
21.
bumped into him wasn't good.
Does he move? He just stays there all the time?
He plays. He's like a rock. He's a big old rock, but you get close to him, and he's not a rock. He gets hungry, real hungry. Like if you threw a fish at him, oh, that's a show to see. I should have added that on my map. Hold on 1 second. Let me just add that on my map.
As Zed realizes the end destination as the last thing the tourists will be able to see, possibly in more ways than one. Writing it down. What did we get on those stealth checks? So I heard a 4, a 5, a 23,
21.
21. Okay, good,
I got a nat 1.
fantastic,
Attaboy.
awesome, great. So for those that rolled below a 20, I need dex saving throws, straight roll, and then for the rest of you, it'll be with advantage. Zed, you can roll with advantage.
12.
Okay,
15.
15, nice.
17.
Who got a 12? I'm gonna give you beginner's luck. So I can give you it's essentially like guidance, but I can give it as a reaction. So I can give you a D4. Just give you a little boost of luck there. So
I got 13.
13, 12,
21.
21,
So make it a 14. I got 2 more.
14. Okay, 14 still fails.
Of course it does. It's okay.
just because you get a little bit of luck doesn't mean it wins the day. You know,
Exactly.
You're
still
weighted
fail with
down
luck.
with water on your
I got a 20.
20, very nice, cool. I'll roll for natural 19. Okay, great. For Sylvia, as you all mine as well, gang. Let's go ahead and all roll initiative here.
Jesus.
It's right after I was like, this is going significantly better than last time.
Way to
Mhm.
go. You challenged luck right there, I feel like, you know? That's what happens. Oh, man.
Truly, one of your new players just wished a monster into an existence, and I was like, yeah, as a DM, I'm like, yeah,
That's beautiful.
I love that. Let's do that.
You got some traps by your boat, eh?
Dirty 20.
It's just friends to him. They're just things that are there. He knows to avoid them. You know,
Part of the
it's just
scenery.
normal stuff.
Riara's got a 6.
Cool. So give me 1 second on the initiative stuff. Actually, this is a good time to kind of introduce this. For everyone who, for all of you that are rolling initiative, go ahead and put it in the mid-game chat, please. Jack,
Okay.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's the benefit of being in more than one of your games. I'm like, I know what to do.
Dan, come on, dude. Enough with this. What is happening right now?
Oh, man.
I'm not going to let you play with me if you don't roll above a 10 ever.
Dude, it's either really good or really bad. There's no middle ground.
Okay, cool. Sweet. All right, and let's. So we got Ogre, Yoon, Zed. Sweet. Sylvia. Car. And Riaris. Okay. And then I need I need you guys to raise your hands if you failed that dex save. DC was 15. Just one? Okay, cool. All right. Car, you are grappled and restrained as the rock that was just sitting there minding its own business. You see this eye that opens up, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these tentacles move out and break as sand goes everywhere, blinding you all, not mechanically, but blinding you all for a second as it rushes out and grabs the first thing it sees, which is Car, and starts to bring it towards it. To describe this scene, mechanically speaking for you all, where you guys are at is an area that is very closed in. I'd say you guys got about we'll call it 30 by 30 sort of feet, if that helps with your kind of like idea of this. This is going to be theater of the mind because I wasn't planning on this. The ship itself is about 60 feet away.
Oh, also, Zed failed that dex save. I think he's working on his headset, so maybe he didn't hear you when you asked, but he got a 9.
Oh,
so.
Gotcha. Cool. All right, so Zed is also grappled, as Zed was pointing out, right there, and that's when you feel that arm wrap around and pull towards you.
Am I all good for Mike?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sound good.
Sounds much better.
Yeah. My bad.
Batteries,
Yeah.
All good, man. I get it. Sweet. Ogre, you are at the top of the round. You are about 15 feet away from this thing as you see Car being pulled in by the waist to this creature.
Then I'm going to pull up my staff and just like wave it around in a circle. And as I'm doing that, out of the holes of the wood, you see insects coming out, and they look like fireflies. And then they start like pulsing, and they make this horrible buzzing noise. And then I point it directly at there, and I cast infestation on it.
Love it. As we see these fireflies that start that go up and are fully continuing to kind of light up this cavern as it zooms out into that direction. What am I rolling?
You need to make a con save of 13.
Okay, cool. Constitution, as you see these fireflies seem to kind of come out and start to kind of move towards right to the eye of this roper. You see the roper close just at that point and manages to take a tentacle out and pushes them away. Unless he takes half damage.
I'm reading it. It's the first time I cast it.
Cool. Pull it up too.
It gets nothing.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. All right. Bonus action?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm using my phone that has my sheet on it with all my shit.
Okay. No problem. So you, as you're looking, so you have bonus action and movement. If you choose to do so, like I said, the ship will be about 60 feet away. Yeah.
Okay, then I am going to I'm sorry. I should have had all this stuff ready. I just didn't think I'd be it this far.
Nobody expects the octopus to attack. It's all good.
You never expect the octopus.
That's why you stay away from it.
Hey, Brandon, are you listening to this? Get that shirt ready, man. You never expect the octopus.
Team name.
I'll put it in their thing.
Our team motto.
All right, what are you doing, Ogre?
Okay, then I guess I'm going to run over to the no, I can't do that because I just used a spell. Okay, then bonus action. Can I use a bonus action to summon muffins?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you just hear her do a loud, piercing and summon muffins.
Cool. Because we have a new character that is having to react to this thing. What do we see as Muffins appears out of thin air?
You see this big furry thing. For a split second, you may think it's a bear, but then when you take a closer look, there's 6 legs, there's bird wings on its back, and you're looking for a face, and there's no face, and there's no head. So there's this big mound, brown mound with 6 legs and wings sticking out of it, the size of a grizzly bear.
Fantastic. So with Munchkin, or is it Munchkin? Excuse me, Muffins. We'll keep for the sake of brevity, we'll keep that same hit points that was on the original stat block just for now. But does Muffins can fly, correct?
Yes.
Cool. Muffins is going to need to probably stay in flight here. This is a very small area. It's very crowded.
It's essentially a bumblebee.
Yes. A very, very, very big bumblebee.
A grizzly bumblebee.
You just see the...
A mechanically large bumblebee. Awesome. Okay.
Said that's normal and on our side. It's fine.
Said, tell me what your natural reaction is on this thing.
I'm just like,
I love it. Awesome. Cool. You all see Sylvie just look up at the thing and go, that's really cool. Great. Ogre, anything else on your turn?
I
You
guess
and you're on deck.
I'm just going to step a little closer to that thing, waiting to see if I can get a car next.
Okay, you got it. So you run up closer to Kara. Say like you can like object interaction. You're trying to like grab the rope and like trying to kind of like RP wise trying to kind of like free Kara from it in this moment. Fantastic. Yoon, you are up.
I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on, let's say, Zed, Bear's Endurance. So, no, wait, Bull's Strength. Sorry. Advantage on strength checks. So, Zed, you have advantage on strength checks now, so long as I don't lose concentration. Yeah. I don't need to roll 2d6, right? Okay, cool. Yep. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to do the help action for Carr. So he has advantage on the next thing that he does, and I'm going to use the hospitality version of that for hobgoblins. That gives him an extra 6 temporary hit points. So Carr, you have 6 temporary hit points and the help action. And that's pretty much it, you know. I think it's all very subtle. I think Eunice still sort of just standing there, still has a grin on his face, kind of enjoying the moment, shuffling his cards, and you just see a little bit of a flash of hand movement towards Zed, and that the enhance ability and the help action. I'm going to see what card does, and then I can describe the help action if something that like if he's escaping, I have an idea for that. But yeah, we'll see.
Cool, awesome. Yoon, give me a perception check with advantage, please.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so that is total of a 15.
Okay, you got it. Cool. Please continue.
Yeah, that's the turn. It was just that action, bonus action. So yeah, that's it.
You got it. Awesome. Fantastic. It is now our Roctopus turn. As you see a giant sort of maw come out of this creature, weirdly almost human teeth that are, well, bone teeth, we'll say, just that are like sharpened to points as it starts to kind of pull Carr in closer. Ogre, I'm going to kind of give this to you as I'm going to say the DC has gotten lower on this. As Carr is being pulled in closer to this creature's mouth, you are taking, like, you're doing everything you can to try to like keep Carr himself kind of further away as Yoon is helping on the other side. It is not able to swallow Carr yet. Sweet. And remind me if I forget that DC has gone down because of that. But I will say there are other tendrils that kind of come out and start to send out to the rest of you that are not grappled right now. So Riaris, Yoon, and Ogre, I need, because we're going to keep this in the same sort of light here, I'm going to say I need dexterity saving throws.
It'd be cool if we just had like a full party wipe right here.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm here for it.
15.
In that vein,
15.
I got a 6 on that dex saving throw.
Cool. Love it. All right. 15 just saves. 6 does not.
4.
4. Okay, cool. All right. Sweet. Excuse me. So we see this creature send its tentacles out. Both Yoon and Ogre, you are immediately grappled as this creature hits you.
Can I use... So it's tentacles in my 10-foot area, and I can use a reaction.
What's your reaction? Depends.
Halo of Spores. You can use a reaction to deal 1d4 necrotic damage to a creature you see when it moves into your 10-foot space.
The tentacles I don't think count as its movement. I'd say
Does not. Yeah,
Okay.
Unfortunately. And you're actually you're keeping Carr from moving closer, so you're actually like you're helping this not work. But so 13, 4, 17. So that is 17 bludgeoning damage to both Yoon and Ogre.
Hey.
Oh.
Well, Yoon is down.
Oh, jeez.
Yoon is down.
I told you I am squishy AF.
Yes. Riaris, you take half the damage, and you are not... so, sorry, 8?
17?
So that'd be 8.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 17 points of bludgeoning damage. As this thing just full on Yoon, you're holding the cards, doing your thing, and all of a sudden you just get smacked right in the head and just fall face down into the wet sand and water. As you do so, the creature just takes its that tentacle itself seems to kind of wrap around your arm, and you feel well, and we see Yoon start to get dragged. Hey gang, welcome to session 2. Awesome. That is the end of the Roper's turn. Or excuse me, Roctopus' turn.
We know what stat block you're using.
You don't, actually.
Okay, I guess I know.
If I let's put it this way, if I was using the normal stat block, you guys would have died a long time ago.
I know. Roper is, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what CR is, but it's not 3rd level.
It's not. Yeah. Cool. Zed, you are up. You are grappled. You did feel the creature kind of pulls you closer to it. One more turn of you not breaking from this thing would be very bad for you.
Okay. All right. So what am I going to do?
So, can he make a strength saving throw to break out of that, or is that
Absolutely.
Okay, just
Yep.
FYI,
Alright.
and you have that advantage on that, but you don't have to use it. Do what you want to do.
Use it.
All right. Yeah.
Do what you want to do. You do what you think
It's a
is
weird
would-
wind in
it
this
would-
cavern. I don't know what that was.
Would it count as an action?
It will count as an action, yes.
Hmm.
It's like breaking out of a grapple, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna try to break out of the grapple.
Cool.
All right. So
So for that, I would say give me an advantage. I'm sorry, excuse me. I would give me an athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
nat 20.
That'll do it.
Cool.
Let's go.
With a nat 20,
The
you
first
do
one
so.
You rolled too.
And fantastic. With a nat 20, you I think we get a flashback to when we first see Rocktopus. Zed, you are you are finding this cave, walking through this sort of big area. You had just kind of gotten off your ship, and all of a sudden we see this tentacle kind of come out, goes out and grabs you. As he does so, you notice that there's this little sort of like in this moment of like almost the end of Zed, you notice that there's this little like nick that seems to be on the side of the tentacle that you're grappled around. And what you were able to do that last time was to take your dagger and like cut yourself free. You look down at this moment and see this like scarred tissue over it and recognize this is exactly the same tentacle. You bust through. You still have you still have your action here on this. That's what I'm gonna say with the nat 20.
Okay. So with that going down, am I close to Yoon?
Yes, you are. Yeah, everybody's pretty close to everybody. It's a small area before there's an immediate drop into the depths of the water of this cave.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is, with one hand, I'm going to hold on to. You said it's got him by the wrist.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna hold on to his arm that it has grappled, and I am going to do my blowgun with Hail of Thorns attached to it.
Okay.
All right.
And killing Yoon.
Well,
You
I
look
mean,
deep into Yoon's closed eyes.
So
And
that's
you-
why I grabbed him. So I'm gonna shoot the dart towards the head, which is like further away.
Nice.
Oh, I love that. So you're like making
Yeah,
sure that it's not going in. Where
Yeah,
you're kind
that
of like
he's
pushing
not
him.
in
up.
reach of it.
Love
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Sounds really good.
All right, so we are going to roll. All right, modded 20.
Love it. Cool. That does hit.
All right, so that is going to be 4 plus. Okay. So that is going to be 9 damage.
Okay.
Altogether.
9 damage altogether. Okay, great. You see the remaining sort of tentacles that doesn't have anyone kind of grappled to it. You see just kind of like move up into the air and do like this weird sort of shake as it takes that damage. You hear this as if
Would
it's trying to
this-
talk to you.
Would this be considered... No, that wouldn't be deep speech, right?
Good question. Give me a second. Give me a second as I just do a quick lore check on ropers.
All right.
You mean roctopuses, right? That's
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Roctopuses.
Yeah.
Let me look up the
Official,
D&D
yeah.
Beyond thing. Official PHP on Roctopuses.
then-
Roctopi. Excuse me.
And would you consider this like a
Toads.
sea creature or a land creature?
Well, this is a little bit different, right? So like I said, it's a different stat block, and we're kind of
Okay.
running into some stuff here. So let's, you know what? Let's rely on the die roll, please.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's a straight 50-50 luck check.
All right, so 20. Oh, a 5.
5. You do not recognize the speech that it is giving you.
Damn. It's one of them land octopi. They like the coastal, but not the water.
It's a dirt puss.
I love it. Does that end your turn?
Did my Hail of Thorns act as a bonus action?
No. The Hail of Thorns is when you hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack.
Okay. All right.
So it's added to that.
All right. Let's see. So you know what? I'm gonna see if.
So hold on. Time out. Did you just roll? You just rolled the damage for Hail of Thorns?
I think
Because that was a
so.
dex saving throw, right?
It was the effect, the 1d10.
Right.
Did
But
you
Hail of
get the
Thorns.
roll a dex
Hail of
saving throw?
Thorns. Yep. Hold on. Hail of Thorns requires a dex save. That's the.
Oh, dex
That's
save.
the
Okay.
trade-off on that. But it's also for when you hit,
Okay.
right? So you got to roll to see if you hit first.
Okay.
That'll probably do it.
So it would have been a 13.
It's the monster rolling the
No,
dex
the
save,
monster
right?
roll.
Oh.
That's right. You had
Yeah.
a 20 to hit. You rolled a 20
Hold on.
to hit.
Time out. Oh, did you roll a 20 to hit?
Yeah.
Just now.
Yeah.
He had rolled a 20 to hit before he rolled damage.
That's right. You rolled a dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah.
That hit. Oh, okay. So we're so the dex save itself for the dexterity, creature takes 1d10 damage on a failed save or half as much as 6 with 1. So it did succeed. So instead of taking the 9 damage, is going to take 4 damage. But
Okay.
I also need the damage from that initial attack you did. So if
Well,
you're using
actually-
your go ahead.
It was 4 damage. He rolled both before. He rolled 4 damage
Oh,
for the
he
blowgun
did.
attack
Okay.
and 5 damage for the Hail of Thorns. So the Hail of Thorns is halved to 3, I guess, or something. So it would be like 7 damage total.
Got it. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're good.
That octopus
Alright.
shook me up a lot.
All good, man. All good.
You created
Uh,
it, all right?
I heard Goonies.
A creation.
So I brought up the octopus.
I saw that. That was a good little.
That's funny. Great. So yeah, you so you managed to hit it with that damage, and seems to have it seemed to tickle. Give me a survival check.
All right. Uh, 18.
18. Free your friends and get out of here. That's what you're seeing from this. This thing is pretty nasty, and it's okay to run from a fight.
All right. So
That's what Zed's picking up on.
okay. So what I'm gonna do is for my bonus action, I'm gonna use the ebb and flow. And I'm gonna
Hold on, time out. No. Your
No.
Hail of Thorns was the bonus
Hail of
action.
Thorns was the bonus. Okay.
Yep. All good. No worries. So I said you do still have movement, but if you're trying to keep Yoon from being eaten, you could say that that's what you're doing instead of taking that
Okay.
movement.
Yeah, that's probably what
Cool.
I'm doing.
Love it. Awesome. Great. It is now Sylvia's turn. Okay. What you guys hear from Sylvia's side is you hear just the phrase, drop it, but it seems to echo in a way that seems to move beyond the cavern itself. So it's not this like cavernous sort of echo. You hear it like kind of like almost like it like is reverberating off of your brains, off of your mind itself. And it fails. So who was grappled? Raise your hand. Well, no. I'm sorry. Who is grappled now? I apologize. So 3 of you, right? Great. Awesome. Yeah. Drops. All 3 of you are let go in this moment.
Wow.
Fantastic. I think what Sylvia now does is actually grabs Yoon's foot. Cool. Grabs Yoon's foot and is going to help you, Zed, to kind of like pull Yoon away from this thing, saying to you, "Okay, yep, Zed, it is time to go. Let's go." As you, I'm going to say half a movement, it pulls about 15 feet away towards the ship.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. That is Carr. So Carr, you are no longer grappled. You are dropped to the ground. What do you do?
Is that thing still alive? The rocktopus?
Absolutely. Yeah, it just dropped the I would say like what you say, like you see the tentacles kind of like drop and release, and you see it kind of like is like the tentacles themselves are kind of like facing the eye of the creature as if he's like looking to see what happened, why his hands let go, and then immediately went back to what it's doing. So it will try to grab you again.
Okay. Dissonant whispers.
Okay.
Yeah, not gonna happen. It's I'm gonna see if I can get rid of it, or at least hurt it a little bit more to convince it not to do that. So the party here is like it's like a gravelly coo of a pigeon. It's like really raspy. That car just starts thrumming, and it has to make a save.
Awesome.
Please.
What save?
The save is Wisdom 13.
13. Fails.
Okay, well, it takes 14 points of damage. And the party almost sees, because I'm very low level, almost sees things come up around me. And as I start thrumming, those things start flying out towards it. And just spirits of those I've called, spirits of those I've been told stories by, just come from me and just start whispering evil things and dangerous things to it.
I love it. From the, if I may, from Carr's side, you see these figures seem to kind of come up out of the ground and are
probably the bones I'm wearing.
Okay, cool. From the bone, yeah, I love that. Comes out from the bones around Carr's necklace, and you see they look like these various sort of Aarakocra of varying sizes, but all like roughly the same size of Carr, as they all seem to move forward towards the roper. As they continue to move forward, it actually they actually get even smaller, to the point that they actually just seem to surround the roper's head and like kind of go around it. Awesome. Sweet.
And then I will continue to move as far as I can away from said octopi.
I got it.
While I'm doing that, I mean, I know you're trying to help me, Yoon, but now that you're unconscious, can I help
it's fine.
him?
You did like 14 damage or something on your own. Like, it's, yeah, you don't have to use that help action. You got the temporary hit points. It's all good.
Can I use one of my claws to grab at Yoon and help pull him back?
Absolutely. Yeah, if you want to use half your movement.
Yeah.
Yep, half your movement. Basically, like baton passes Yoon, so Yoon actually moves further away. So Yoon, you're 30 feet away. As Carr, you use your it's half movement to carry, so you're moving 15 feet away on that side.
Yep.
So,
I drag him as gently as I can. I don't want to hurt him. I want him away from this thing.
Got it. Awesome. All right, Riaris, you are up.
All right. So seeing everybody kind of start to pull back at this point, so really the only one that's close is Ogra. Is that correct? Nobody's
Yes.
restrained at this moment, and Yoon is still unconscious. Okay. So I think we'd be like, Ogra, it's time to go, and I'm gonna pull out from like almost from my boot. I probably would say just a dagger, and I just want to throw a dagger just at the creature, at the eye. Like I'm not like I'm trying to hit it, but I know I probably won't. And so I'm just going to. I'm sorry, not a dagger, a hand axe. I'm sorry. That's what I have. I don't have
Okay.
daggers. So I'm still poisoned. Is that correct? So disadvantage.
Yes, you are.
All right.
To be clear, you guys have been on the island for probably maybe 10 minutes.
That is the
Cool.
way.
That's a natural one. So yeah, I'm just gonna chuck at this thing. It's gonna hit like a stalactite or something way in the
It's
distance.
Yoon.
It's not even gonna. It's Yoon. And seeing that, just be like, oh man, like totally no confidence. Dude, I'm not running into that thing. And so I'm gonna book it towards the others, where everybody else is. Yoon's precious little body is laying down there, and everybody else. I think I have 30 feet of movement. I think I can get there. Is he about 30 feet
Yeah.
away or so?
Yep.
Are we right?
Yeah. Yes, he is. So 30
Um,
feet. Go ahead.
Okay.
Please continue.
Yeah, and so 30 feet, so I get over there, and I will then use my bonus action to action surge, and I will to just kind of pat Yoon on the cheek as I'm trying to find my hands start to glow a little bit. They start to radiate, just shimmering, not quite fully, almost like bluish white light, and I kind of just tap Yoon on in the cheek for like, not your time to die, bud, and use healing hands on him.
Nice.
Which will restore 6 hit points to Yoon. That kind of jostle you, kind of pull you up a little bit, kind of try to like dust you off, and be like, not yet, Yoon, not yet, not your turn. That'll be my turn.
You and your
is
eyes
it still
snap
now? Did we reset?
Is it still now?
Not yet, not yet.
Oh, great.
Is it still now? That's amazing. I love that. That's a great question. I like that a lot. Sweet. So as you guys are moving back, first off, also Car. I'll say this actually, Zed, you see Car was like kind of casting something on it that seemed to kind of do some damage to it. Zed, if you want to like shout out what you found with your survival check on this thing. Or you could say that you don't. That's totally fine too. I just want to offer that.
I think you're muted.
Oh, you're muted. Now,
Okay.
really welcome to the family. as we've
Oh
all done that.
no, not again. All right. So with the survival check, you know what? I've got that foot.
Mhm.
I'm gonna throw the foot.
Well, time out. Whoa,
Oh,
time
wait,
out. Wait.
Wrong
I was
thing.
referencing the survival check that you made
Okay.
on recognizing that this thing, it's not worth fighting this thing.
Oh, yeah. So basically, I'm gonna tell him I haven't defeated it, and I'm realizing that like, no, we're gonna get on the ship because it's gonna hurt my ship, and we're gonna get the hell out of here.
Love it. That's so good. The Car, immediate thought does flash through your head as you've learned that Zed is like takes tourists out on his boat or out on the ship, which means they have to pass by this thing all the time. And that somehow never came across Zed's mind at this moment of like maybe get rid of this thing, but I love it. Your mind snaps to with what is happening right now. Ogre, it is your turn. Yoon, you're on deck.
Okay. Obra is going to do what got her out of a jam last time, and she's going to put her fists in the water and then sway it around a bit and cast Ice Knife, and then
Okay.
just pulling it at this thing.
You got it. Go for it.
Okay. That is a 24.
Good.
Oh, and I cast it at
24.
second level.
24 to hit. That
Yeah.
hits.
And that's going to be a 8 damage.
Okay.
Uh,
And then
bonus.
it explodes, right? Correct?
Oh
Am
yeah.
I, or am I thinking of another?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
thought you meant the octopus.
the Rocktopus explodes. Sorry, gang. No,
It's not me,
unfortunately
I'm
not.
Did
It's
I
really
kill it?
strong with that 8 damage.
Hold on, let's turn back.
Over
Let's
you
turn
did
back.
it.
You gotta loot it.
The whatever the roll was, what was it, 18 on the survival check? It had to be a 20 to recognize this thing was on its last legs. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
You have to do it 8 times.
And I
You
roll
have to do it 8 times. Yeah.
to see if it takes cold damage, right? When it does a security saving throw.
Hit or miss to shatter explodes a target. Each creature within 5. It's a dex save. So what's your DC?
13.
This thing. Hold on. Let me make sure. Checking the stat block here. This thing has a -2 to its dex, but somehow manages to escape the blast of this thing as it rolls a natural 19. So I think in lieu of a dex save, you see it throw all the tentacles. It is not grappled around anything around its face
And I
from
can't
its initial hit.
Another spell, even if it's a bonus action, correct?
You can't cast another leveled spell.
Okay. Then bonus action, I'm going to have Muffins do a charge attack.
Are you sure?
No, Muffins
I
is
said this at the beginning, and I will make sure that everybody knows. If you're putting pets or companions into fights, that means they can die.
Yeah, no. Muffins will stay in the air and just be supportive. Actually, no. I'd like to send Muffins over to Yoon and kind of scoop him up and kind of take him away from the danger as far as I can.
I love that. What I'm gonna say, because Muffins is a large creature, no problem doing that at all. What is Muffin's speed?
Flying is 15 feet flying, but walking is 40.
Okay.
So I'm just going to have him land onto the ground, like get him and just take off to the ship.
Right. So 15 feet flying. We kind of already established he really has to be flying. He has to be flying, especially with a large creature. Like, I think it's like if I can put this in perspective, the way that it is pictured in my mind, you guys have to kind of like travel along the wall of this cavern to get to where you would actually go, and it's treacherous. So for Muffins is gonna have to fly even to reach over to that.
Is it a drop on the side? Is that why?
Yeah, it's like an immediate drop down.
As soon as I see Muffins trying to come to it, then I will take to the air and back away, so it has room.
Okay.
So there's
I
a
love
drop,
that.
I can fly.
Right. Yes, absolutely, you can. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that drop off
I'll
there.
just get out of the way and let Muffins take you in the rest of the way.
I'm cool with that. That's absolutely fine. But so 15 feet is going to bring you almost to the ship.
Okay.
Sweet.
And that's
Cool.
my turn.
Love it. Okay, so Yoon, you are 45 feet away, 15 feet closer to. You're 15 feet away from the ship, 45 feet from the roper itself. It is your turn. What do you like to do?
Trying to imagine how this giant, basically like amorphous blob of fur, picks me up.
I think it's like a bad going.
It doesn't even have a mouth, does it? Does it have a mouth?
No, it like
It doesn't have a
does-
mouth.
and
It
then
has
just
6
runs back.
legs.
Just kind of bumps me over to
It also like
maybe I grab onto it as it like goes by and
it does also
at
like
this point.
it also kind of like blips in and out of existence. So maybe it like blips out of existence on the ground and then like somehow manages to push you up to it. I don't know, man.
You know,
Fantasy.
weird question.
Riaris is just like, hey, you're good, man.
What
Get
does
up all this,
muffins
boom,
smell
gone,
like?
taken off.
What does the cavern smell like?
No, what does muffins smell like?
Oh, that is a very good question.
Muffins. You
Muffin.
think would smell sweet because of the name? It is mossy, dirty, very. What you think a
Okay.
swamp would smell like, but even worse, like mixed with the worst stenches you can probably
my
think
God.
of, and hasn't been cleaned.
It's a skunked wet dog. Oh,
Oh
Pretty
no.
much.
So good. So good.
Okay. Well, when we get back to Chukan, I'm going to introduce you to a bathing expert. All right, but thank you. And then you know what? I'm going to go ahead and cast Darkness. Well, let me make sure, because I feel like the radius might be too large depending on the cavern. That's 15 feet. Do you feel like I can cast Darkness on the Roctopus and it wouldn't pass into anybody else if I centered it or even moved it a bit back so that it was just kind of on the
back,
Roctopus?
right?
15 feet. 15 feet to
So
cast.
it's 15 feet. It's 60 feet area. Oh, sorry, 60 feet range, 15
Cool.
foot radius.
Yeah, I believe, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you guys have made a essentially a full movement or a halved movement to get away from this thing, correct?
Yep.
So yeah, absolutely. You can. That's very good. That'll work.
All right.
Nice.
So, darkness. And then. Yeah. I think in general, yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do this turn. I don't really have anything bonus action that I really want to use. And if it's in darkness, the idea is we're moving away anyway. So, yeah, I could let go and move myself. I think I will. I think Yoon kind of goes, thank you, Muffins. I've got it from here. And then he just backs away and then runs toward the ship.
Hops up.
Yeah.
You got it. You swing down to where that sort of, and I'm gonna say it's a low DC because you could take your time a little bit in this, but give me a deck save.
Okay. It's 13.
13. Excellent. Yeah, you managed to kind of jump down from Muffins, cling to the wall, and start kind of shimmying your way over to the ship. Zed, what have you built here for people? Unbelievable.
What is this place?
What is this place? Anything else on Yoon's turn?
No, that's it.
Love it. Okay. Roper's turn. So the Roper can't see anything. So it is just going to randomly thrash about. So by my calculations, someone can tell me if that's right or not. Riaris, well, I should just go around. Riaris, how close do you think you are to this thing?
I think I got 30 feet away. I was where Yoon was when he was unconscious, so I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you're good. Zed, did you make a full movement yet?
I was with Yoon because I was pulling him away from it.
Right. So you started the baton pass there. So I will say you're 15 feet away from it.
Okay.
I'll say 16 feet. You're just outside of the darkness there. Sweet. Ogra. Oh yeah, where's Ogra?
Ogre was a little behind, so I think she may be still in the darkness with it.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Well, wait.
I mean, if I could have angled it, I mean, you can always move the center so it's slightly back, and the
No.
creature would be in
Yeah,
like.
I think Ogra had her
corner
movement,
or,
right?
like-
I don't know.
Yeah,
if you
I have
said
30
I would
feet,
have
so
at
I'm
least
away
tried
from
to-
it then.
Yeah, you had 30.
Oh, you did.
but
Okay, so
I
30
would
feet.
have
Cool.
tried.
That makes it
Yeah.
easier. Yeah. Cool. And then Carr.
I mean, I moved 15 feet to
Drag
drag
them.
Unibit, and then I flew off the cliff. So I'm guessing I'm at least 20.
Did you fly off a cliff on your turn, or you were just mentioning that a minute ago?
Well, I mentioned it to get away, but I still had movement, I thought.
Right. Well, no. Mechanically speaking, it would have like the movement itself would have to be on your turn. I was like
I see.
giving the idea of like a space, you know. Okay. So I already forgot, but I think I remember. So we have Car and Zed. Zed, where are you? more time.
Like 16 feet,
16 feet.
from it.
Yes, that's right. Cool. So Car and Zed. Great. No, I'll keep it on you guys. Deck saving throws, you have advantage.
Let's go. Oh. Nice.
15.
20.
Cool. Both save. As you see these tentacles come flying out from the actual darkness itself, it can only reach so far, but is able to move far enough to have those tentacles kind of move close to your face. I think Zed, you move out of the way as a slow motion. Just the tentacle kind of like moves right past you. Car, you're able to I think actually stylistically, I think right when you kind of leapt into the air, it just happened to work where the tentacle just goes right underneath your feet. Awesome. Both of you dodge completely away from this thing. So wait a minute, was Sylvia in there? Because Sylvia grabbed Yoon to help Zed pull out. So Sylvia would also be in that. Sylvia did get hit. But she takes she takes 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, you said she got hit? Oh, damn.
She did get hit, yeah.
But is she grappled or just got hit?
She just got hit. So the way I kind of figured this in the darkness itself, it's just random, the throw. So I would say unless you got a natural 1, I think that's when you would get grappled. We're kind of like moving the kind of like DC steps like lower on that.
Makes sense.
To make sense. Does that make sense, Evan?
Yeah, so that's fine with me.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
normally
cool. Yeah.
an attack would be a disadvantage, just isn't even that much. So yeah, lower DC makes sense to me. It's cool.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, you see Sylvia get hit and like fully kind of like falls down, knocks down. I'm gonna roll something on this side here.
Backhand fire tentacle.
Okay. Who is near her? Zed. And Zed, you're up next. Zed, you see something fall out of Sylvia's pocket. It's very small, very thin, rectangular, and probably has some sort of design on the back. As you see, a playing card falls out of Sylvia's pocket. As it does so, it goes into the water at that side, and you see it starting to float down. It is your turn.
All right. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm going to take the foot and I'm gonna throw it.
This foot.
I'm gonna take the foot
Okay.
and I'm gonna throw it at the Roctopus in hopes that
Okay.
it'll distract him to eat it. And once he eats it, it just so foul tasting will just distract him so we can all get away.
Okay.
While I'm throwing it behind me, I'm gonna try to dash after the card, telling her you dropped something.
Love it.
You're
Okay,
saved by
cool.
foot.
What a great like funny thing on this is this foot actually. Let's roll an attack roll on this. Let's have some fun here. Because just a reminder, the foot has light attached to it. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
great.
right.
So-
Yeah, it lasts an
Yeah.
hour.
in the magical darkness, which I know everybody stop yelling at me. Magical darkness is magical darkness. I get it. I understand. It doesn't get affected by this, but it does in my game for this very moment because that's hilarious. Zed, please roll. And I'm going to say, so it's something that you would have proficiency on. So
yes. So should I do it as like a dagger throw? Or
yeah,
a
I
dart
believe so.
throw?
Yeah.
All right.
Either one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're proficient in foot throwing.
So
you're
it would
very
be-
proficient in foot throwing.
Yeah. So I slung that biscuit
Very
down the
items
range,
with all the
and I got
Yeah.
a modded 20.
Yes.
Modded 20? Good
Yeah.
lord. Okay, cool. Amazing. So here's what we... It's so freaking dumb. It's so, like, in the most amazing way. So there's
Never thought you'd
Speechless.
we fade to black, and as we pull back up, we hear, we're still in dark blackness, and we just hear voices. We hear this, wow, that ship's actually really nice. We hear another voice that goes, well, you just got to keep it in shape. Also, watch out for the roctopus. And we see, as the eye of the roper opens, we see from their perspective these figures that turn and look at it and stand at this position that, as from the roper's perspective, he's just fighting for his life. You see him just making a noise that says "Get away from me," and as we see a subtitle go underneath on that, and just starts flinging things out, just trying to kind of get away from you guys. So it's the whole fight, but it's from its perspective. All of a sudden, we see Yoon pointing at it, and everything gets dark, and the last thing we see is this flying foot that's lit up just enough to be able to see it as it slams into its eye and it shuts again. Incredible. Cut to you all on the ship moving out into sea. As we cut to nursing injuries, things like that. Zed, you have the card.
All right. So I'm probably the one steering the ship on the way out.
Okay.
I'm just on the ship. Just, wow, that was crazy. See, I told you, you just gotta feed him a fish.
Yeah,
Foot.
okay. Zed, I need that card.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. So I go and I reach in the pocket.
You
Pull
can
out.
give me a perception check.
Eh,
No, Yoon. Zed, you're good.
Oh,
Keep going.
Ewan. Okay. So I reach into a pocket. I go to pull out, and it's the sand. I'm like, oh, wrong pocket. Reach back pocket. Oh,
Sand.
wrong pocket. The other wrong pocket. Oh. Pull it out from right above the shoulder blade, and I hand it to her.
It's a 10, by the way.
10. You don't see this or hear this. Takes the card and goes, okay, great. Thank you. After this, we really need to talk about maybe finding a different place to hide your ship. Maybe?
Nah.
No?
Yeah, I mean, we could have just taken the other path without the octopus, but what's the fun in that?
Okay. I don't even know what to say to that right now. As you see her kind of like move off. And as you guys see this sunset coming over the sea itself, we see there's this little river bend that comes down closer into the inland of the river. Inland to the island itself. You guys have a choice of where you're going. Before we make that choice, Yoon, there's a point where is Yoon on the ship actually?
I think he's kind of, I guess maybe on the bow that was a little bit higher up. He's somewhere where he's kind of looking at the people on the ship, like in a very kind of appraising, but like he's got that smile, like, you know, he's found some people, like he's kind of looking.
You
at
could be in the
everybody
crow's
and
nest if you
smiling.
wanted to.
Yeah, that's fine. So long as I can like kind of see some of the people that, you know, obviously not everybody's going to be on the deck, but like, you know, he's kind of looking down at the people, just smiling and kind of shuffling his cards.
Got it. As you're shuffling your cards, you see a figure fly up to the crow's nest. Sylvia goes, "May I?" Just like kind of points to a spot. This crow's nest is very... Okay. I need to talk to you.
Yeah. I was hoping at some point you might fill us in a little bit. But if you have something else you need to talk about, I'm always happy. I'm all ears.
No. I don't need to talk to you. Takes the card out. As you see this, like, as we see it is part of Yoon's deck. I need to talk to you.
Above board, story-wise.
Did you change something?
No, I haven't changed anything, but it was... They were already together when that card scene happens. So, but it is... Yeah, so...
Well, yeah, that's fine. This was
Okay.
This was kind of a signal of like... the card thing was like a signal of, I get what you are.
Okay.
Like, so it doesn't have to be connected at all.
Right.
Yeah.
When you talk to me, you talk to him. It's a bit mixed up in here.
Okay. All right. Fine. We have a situation, and I need you to... You can't come out of this mortal frame at all?
I'm afraid this is what I'm limited to. Though it feels amazing.
Okay. All right.
If you give me a little bit more time, I think I'll have a little bit more control of myself. But at the moment, this is all I can give.
I don't know truly how much time we have, but I guess I can try to explain some things in the meantime. And we fade out from this scene as we see figures all around looking at Carr pulling the symbol of his people and looking at it, the tattered remains. We see Riaris looking out into the sea, and we see this like little glint of metal off of his earring. We see Zed fully just steering the ship without a care in the world, and probably in his best mood as he has a full ship of customers.
Yeah, with the map in hand.
With the map in hand. We see Ogra.
Ogra is fully like death grip on the mass. Never been off the island. and is like
So amazing.
vomiting horribly, being seasick.
Oh no.
And we cut to Yoon as Yoon and Sylvia are looking at each other, and there seems to be an understanding that both are not all they appear to be. And with that, we will end tonight's session. See you guys next week.